artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 6 3 2 9 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with Ash, the reptilian, and we would like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is, what the hell date is it? What day is it, Ash? Tuesday or is it Friday?
I don't know how your Earth time works. So.
Okay, Tuesday. We're going to go with Tuesday. It's Tuesday night. If you're listening tonight, it is a live show, and then we do this live because we want to include you. So basically, chat it up, and you can give us a call. You can be on the show tonight by calling this number, 702-957-1037. The phone lines are back up. They fixed whatever issue was plaguing us last week, so everything's working, and we should be good for that. If you don't like long distance or you're international or some combination of the two, you can join the show by joining the Discord. And you can do that by going to troubledminds.org, clicking Discord on the top right of the website, and boom, you're in. You're in. So what we do, again, we do this live because we want you to be included, and there we go. But what is this? So if it's your first time here and you're wondering what the hell this is all about, how did I end up here? This happens quite often. People get maybe digitally abducted on the internet and get dropped here, and they're like, wait, who is this? Who are you? What am I doing here? Well, if you're that person, if you don't know what the hell happened, you woke up from a New Year's bender and you're listening to this show and don't know what the hell happened, well, this show's about all the things we're not supposed to talk about, of course, which is conspiracy, which is aliens, which is everything in between, right? The paranormal, you name it. We watch the 24-hour news cycle. We talk about, that's it. All the things we're not supposed to talk about. You can check it out and go back to the old shows, and we've talked about everything from aliens to, anyway. You got it. You got the idea.
Yeah, you keep just saying aliens.
Aliens, conspiracy, propaganda. Hey man.
Aliens.
Sometimes you're tongue-tied and you don't really got it right. Aliens, anyway. We do include aliens in the narrative here. Hell yeah. Everybody loves aliens. That's the line we're going with anyway. So we'll do shout outs in a sec. If you want to shout out, go ahead and type in where you're watching from. We'll shout you out. And there you go. So tonight, here's what we got on deck tonight. We got tons of news. There is tons of things to talk about tonight, of course. And one of them being the elephant in the room, which would be World War III, right? So we're gonna touch on that very briefly, because if you want that, you turn on Fox News, you turn on CNN. Look at the rest of that propaganda. We'll touch on that very, very briefly to start. Otherwise, we've got all kinds of stuff tonight. So we're going to get into some climate change, actually, which we haven't done. And I think it's important to look at and see if this is a propaganda bit, or see if there's the 99% scientist consensus is the thing, or whatever the hell's going on. We're going to look at some of that, maybe some sea level rise, and have some fun along the way. So if you guys have thoughts on this, perfect. That's what we're here to do. And we again, aliens. It's all about the aliens. All right, there we go. Let's do the shout. Sorry. Anything with that, Ash? Real quick, before I get into the shout outs, I cut you off there. Anything to add?
Yeah, it's a crazy time on your planet. You guys got all sorts of stuff going on: war, fire, roasting. Academy Awards or whatever it was. It's a lot of stuff going on Earth. Thank God I'm up here.
Yeah, exactly. Ash the reptilian on Mars, of course. He's broadcasting live from Mars. So there you go. All right, let's do shut. Oh yeah, we do have some Academy Awards to talk about, or whatever that was, the Golden Globes, whatever the hell that thing was. We'll talk a little bit about that and the Australian wildfires. So if we have anybody listening from Australia, we'd like your local take on this, and hopefully you're safe down there and all the rest of that stuff. We do have a call coming in. We'll take this in just a sec. Wait, did they leave? Yeah, they just hung up. Okay, call back and we'll get you on the show. Okay, so we got all kinds of stuff to talk about, and that's what we're gonna do. So we'll do shout outs first, and we get Jeremy gets first on YouTube. How you doing, buddy? We get Penny gets a close second from the United Kingdom. Thanks for showing up. And Penny says, "Hey, I've smashed a like for you, Mike. Thank you. Give us the thumbs ups, do all the shares, do all the likes, do all the things, and it does help. It does help. It can help. I've seen it help to a factor of 5. So if you guys share the things, do the things, like the things, leave the comments on all the things, all the the things. Hit. What do they say? They hit the subscribe button, tell your friends. Yep. All the things. Mm-hmm. All the other things.
Send in your blood, your urine. All
no,
these things.
No, don't do those things. Don't do those things. All right, we got Christopher gets first on Facebook. How you doing, buddy? We got Daj, D-A-J, Dash. I'm from Mars. There you go. Hey, if you run into Ash up there, let us know. What's up, buddy? Thanks for showing up. Christopher, World War III is upon us. USA for the win, he says. What's up, Christopher? Thanks for being here. Gabe, what's up? Dave, how you doing, buddy? Kurt, holy crap, finally catching a show. Always missing it. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Elizabeth, hi, everyone. We'll try to stay awake. I love this show. Thank you. Love that you love the show. Love that you come here and share the great information. Tim, what's up? Been a while. I'm back. Hey, you're always welcome back. Christopher, hello. Thomas, hello. What's up with all the UFOs in 2020 already? Hey, man, it was a record for 2019, I believe. Something like that. They just keep coming, right? What's up, John? Thanks for being here. Right? We got a record, right? Are you sending more UFOs our way, Ash? Is that what's going on?
We got some stuff going on. I don't want to spoil it. Let's just say 2020 is going to be interesting.
Okay, it's going to be a good year. All right, it's like a good year for wine or something.
I didn't say 2020. I said interesting. But
okay, interesting. We'll go. Okay, good's better than interesting, talking about wine. Amber, what's up? Morning from the Suffolk, UK. Hey, it's early over there right here. John, thanks for being here. Remy, what's going on? How you doing, buddy? Sam, what's up from Jacksonville, Florida? John from Edinburgh, Texas. How you doing, buddy? Kelly, what the F is going on up in here? You already know. B.A., shout out. How you doing, man? Gabe, nonstop earthquakes in Puerto Rico, nonstop. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know about nonstop, but it's happening over there. Christopher, hello as always from Maryland. Todd, hello there from Danville, Kentucky. We got Larry from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And nonstop earthquake in Puerto Rico, Gabe reiterates. Stephen, hey. Laramie, present. Like this is school. We're taking roll. This is present. Okay, all right. We don't have to do all that. Nobody's going to get wrapped on the knuckles with a ruler, I promise. We don't do that here. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Yeah, let's get started. All right, so so let's get the elephant out of the room here. Let's just talk about this first and foremost. And war, right? I mean, everybody's talking World War III. Everybody's talking that there's missiles flying all over the place. The bizarre thing that happens that's a little bit different is there's missiles flying, but there's nobody dying. So I think that it should still stick that we need a somber take on this, because you never really know what tomorrow will bring, So this is reported by kfabenews.com. And
yeah. So I see that with tensions rising, I wanted to get a little feedback from you humans. U.S. deploys Hogan to Middle East. What exactly is a Hogan? Let's find out here.
let's
Amid
find out.
escalation, tensions, violence in the Middle East, World War. WWE Hall of Famer U.S. President has authorized the deployment of America's most sophisticated tactical weapon, a Hulk Hogan. Huh. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's so reported by Kayfabe News. Here we go. U.S. deploys Hulk Hogan to the Middle East, and yeah, the sources in Tehran report that Hogan was parachuted into the area yesterday. Real American, blaring from loudspeakers, immediately began flexing his 24-inch pythons in the direction of Iranian weapons depots. There you go. Then there's all the war we're doing for tonight. So, what do you guys think about Hulk Hogan being deployed in the Middle East, or not?
Sounds terrifying.
Ash the
I don't-
reptilian from Mars. That's satire. That actually didn't happen, but it is funny to talk about and think about, and that's about the extent of what happened with the the missiles flying tonight. We may well have deployed Hulk Hogan. What's up, Youssef? Thanks for showing up, man. Eddie from Quebec, Canada. How are you, man? John says, Hulk Hogan, brother. Yeah. Yeah. Ryan, he is an alien. He's an alien. He's definitely an alien. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. There's as much as we're going to do about war tonight because everybody else is. If you want to listen to this crap and the other kind of propaganda, fine. Turn on Fox News, turn on CNN. They're doing their lefty-righty bullshit, and we don't do that here. So we're going to try and stay away from that stuff, and we're going to talk about other things like this. How about this? Let's see. Instead of that, let's talk about this. This is reported by WPBF.com. And the headline is, New Epstein jail cell photos reinforce suspicions, according to independent medical examiner. Did you get a chance? I know you've probably heard of Jeffrey Epstein up there on Mars. Did you get a chance to look at this article there, Ash? What do you think, buddy?
Yeah. So I looked through this, glossed through this article, and it's saying that the pathologist, he reviewed the materials that was supposedly released recently about the photos, and it doesn't really add up with with the story. So like there is no what does it say here? It is Biden said it's hard to tell how Epstein really died because jail staff inexplicably moved Epstein's body before the medical
Dr.
examiner
Michael Baden
arrived
tells me from New
and
York.
could document the evidence. It is highly unusual to remove a dead body from a cell before it is fully investigated. And it reminded me of JFK, right? Because they did a bunch of remove the body stuff there too. What else? Newly released photos revealed on CBS 60 Minutes. Sunday showed numerous orange bed sheets on the floor, some tied in complicated nooses, yada yada. So they basically go through this article and talk about all the things that don't add up, and that the forensic pathologist talks about. So everything from like how could his neck have been broken if he couldn't jump
That
off
the
the
scene
top
found
bunk,
inside
and what else here? Different marks and things, information like that. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So Dr. Michael Baden here is one of the at least he's the most hyped. What would you call this guy? A medical examiner in let's say history. Remember, if you guys remember, it was probably like 20 years ago, something like that, maybe longer than that, 25 years ago. He had his own series on HBO, and he was doing medical examinations and talking about like true crime and the ways they do today. But he was doing it from the stance of a forensic pathologist, medical examiner, right? And so he's been. I think somebody's posted a meme here where they were talking about. I don't know if this is true, but that he did the autopsy on JFK, Michael Jackson, and Jeffrey Epstein. Like that's how long this guy's been at it. Something like that. Wow. I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that, but it's something I've seen the meme.
I've heard that before too.
Yeah, I didn't fact check that, so don't quote me on that. But I did see that meme. So this guy's been in the game for a very long time, and this is right here. It says right here, very top. Forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden said the scene found inside Jeffrey Epstein's cell after his death doesn't support the conclusion that Epstein hung himself using a bedsheet. Does he think it looks staged? Quote, that's certainly one of the appearances it has. Yes, staged suicide, said this famed medical examiner.
Dr. Michael Baden tells.
What's that? Yeah, let's watch this. This 2 minutes. Let's watch this and see what they have to say. If they digress here, we'll cut them off. But let's see what the report. Action.
Me from New York that the scene found inside Jeffrey Epstein's cell after his death doesn't support the conclusion that Epstein hung himself using a bedsheet.
Does it look staged to you?
That's certainly one of the appearances it has, yes, a staged suicide.
Baden says it's hard to tell how Epstein really died because jail staff inexplicably moved Epstein's body before the medical examiner arrived and could document the evidence.
Okay, that's suspicious. I'll cut that off there because we got tons to talk about tonight. But yeah, bizarre, huh? Why would you move the body? Why would you move things around before they could come and do a proper investigation? Like, what's going on here?
And supposedly the camera footage is gone, but all of a sudden we have photos of the cell. But it's like a month later, 2 months later. Why didn't we see those before? It's all it's very suspicious.
Very suspicious, exactly. To say the least. Kurt says, now they're saying he hung himself with a blanket, not a toilet paper rope. Yeah, right. And he had it looked like he had electrical cords in the cell or something. There's a whole bunch of BS going on. Kurt says, Las Vegas, anyone? Yeah, man. Right here. What's up? Fred says, good evening. What's up, Fred? How you doing, buddy? Joanne, how you doing? Hello. Good evening. Thanks for showing up. And yeah, I mean, this is the same sort of thing that continues to happen, right? Like we all called it before Epstein died. Then he died, right? And then what? Here we are now. The post-mortem. We have medical examiners saying, no, this looks suspicious as hell. Other people saying, no, nothing to see here. He hung himself. Blah blah, whatever, right? I mean, this couldn't have anything to do with links to people in powerful places, high places. What do you think there? Do they do that now on Mars, Ash? What do you think, buddy?
We do all kinds of stuff here on Mars, but what we don't say. Kurt Wilkins said that they were saying they had a toilet paper rope, so he paper mache'd himself to death. Is that what they were saying before? He paper mache'd a rope.
I have no idea what they said. I don't think it even matters what they said because whatever they say is a bunch of horse shit. It seems like every official story we get is a bunch of horse shit. So there's that. Anyway, Luke says Epstein's brother hired this doctor, and he contends that the fractures on Epstein were not seen on over 1,000 suicides he investigated. And again, this particular forensic pathologist, the medical examiner, has been in the game for decades and decades and decades. Like I said, I'm not exaggerating. 25, 30 years ago, that's how I know his name. He had an actual show on HBO. so yeah, there we go. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
It's so obvious. This is, I know a lot of humans who are resistant to the whole conspiracy theory thing, and they know I'm like, I like to watch all that stuff, and a bunch of them hit me up. So this is kind of like a mainstream red pill. You know what I'm saying? Like it's this no one buys this, and it's so blatant, so out in the open. It's insane. You almost got to give it to him for being so brash, whacking this guy around in the public.
Yeah, and just disappearing, right? So is he alive? Is he not alive? Is he dead? Is he not dead? Is he these things? Is he those things? Did he get abducted by aliens? Who the hell? Who knows what's going on with this? And you know what? This is what it reminds me of. Did you hear about that guy in Japan that did the escape recently? The ex-CEO of the Mazda Corporation, I believe it was. He was jailed in Japan. And he was awaiting trial, and he was like, corporate corruption of the highest level. I don't have the article up because it kind of flowed into the conversation through my brain here. I guess maybe the aliens beamed it to me, but he was literally under some sort of a high security arrest in Japan. He was awaiting trial, and they were going to put this dude away for a long time because it was corruption. It was corporate corruption. Just like another day in the corporate Japan at that point, but. They were doing business, international business in all kinds of countries, of course, here included. And so what happens? So this guy's on trial. He's got tons of money, or awaiting trial anyway. And then he just up and disappears from like a high security lockdown situation in Japan, and one of their biggest profile perps in the entire country. And he just up and vanishes. And he ends up in Lebanon in like a couple days. So what happened was, they say an ex-Green Beret smuggled him out in like some boxes or some shit, and they dropped him on a private jet, and they flew his ass out of there. And now, of course, they flew to a country where there's no extradition treaty with Japan. Haha, it smells like freedom to me. But very similar, right? Very similar. Like if it was a similar situation here, you swap the body, you get something that looks kind of close enough. Break this dude's neck, throw him in there. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, how do you, like a high-profile prison?
You guys are crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. I agree.
Well,
I
didn't
agree.
Pablo Escobar escape through a tunnel?
Yeah, I
Like
think a few
that
times.
was
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, if think about it, if you have millions of dollars, like eh, there's some guy who would try to break you out of prison for $1 million because if he's successful, he's made right forever. He's
Oh
only got
yeah.
to do one thing: get you out of prison. That's it. That's
That's
all.
it.
So it's gonna happen. It's crazy. So is Epstein alive? Did he was he murdered? Did he
They
kill him? No,
smuggled
he
out.
didn't kill himself.
He
He's one
didn't
of
kill.
those two things.
He didn't. He definitely didn't kill himself. Nobody believes he killed himself. Even the people that believe he's dead don't think he killed himself. Okay, all right. So anyway, so there we go. So there's more news coming out. There are photographs of this. If you guys haven't seen them, there are photographs of the jail cell now. There's some autopsy photographs that we've seen. I didn't want to put them up on this stream just because we might get taken down because it's a little bit graphic. But there's a red line around the dude's neck. Almost like he got choked out with a wire, they say. So, yeah,
The classic.
the classic, exactly. The Phil Schneider happened.
Oh,
Yeah, right. I'm not kidding. That was a thing, right? That was a real thing. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, so there we go. Luke says
was the,
Hillary.
the underground base guy, right?
Yeah. Phil Schneider was the guy that did. He fought aliens underground, and he was whistleblowing on the government, and then bam, ended up dead. Yeah,
He must have been saying something he said must have been true. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't have strangled him to death so blatantly too. That was a message. That was a message they sent out, letting people know not to mess around. Yeah,
I think
man.
so. Yeah,
Otherwise they would just like say it was a suicide or something. No, that was a message, 100%. So something that guy was saying was true, and they were tired of him talking. We should do an episode on him.
Yeah,
Or you probably already have, huh?
We did, but we could do it again.
You guys
we
have
did
done everything.
we did the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases. Yeah, but which featured Phil Schneider, but we didn't do the entire story because there's so much there. He did like weeks and weeks, months, years maybe of talks before they actually offed him. So there's tons of stuff to look into there. Penny What's Up says, have you seen his autopsy photos? Yep, have seen him. Pretty gory. She says his face looks like it's been taken off and another glued on in place. I didn't look. I guess I didn't look that close, but maybe I believe you. And then why don't we hear about his island anymore? What about the tunnels? Yeah, exactly. What about the drones? What about the missing documents? There's all kinds of stuff going on about Epstein right now. And yeah, so we've covered it kind of ad nauseum, but I thought it was interesting to look at a secondary. Now we get autopsy photos trying to shoehorn the story into a really tiny corner. it all lines up now. It all lines up, and then we have a famed medical examiner saying no, it does not line up. So there we go. Yeah,
America's favorite conspiracy. Epstein.
Epstein, exactly. Epstein's the guy who made everybody a conspiracy theorist. Okay, here we go. Some more news. Let's move on. We got reported by USAnews.com, and check this one out. This is pretty cool. This is a headline, posting links per usual in the chat. NASA and Boeing probe software glitch that stopped astronaut capsule from reaching space station. Yeah, right. Did you follow that? There's a software. There was a probe that was going to the supposed to go to the space station, and then it spurged out and it kind of went off course because there was some sort of software glitch, they say. So I'm wondering. Do you have any inside information there, Ash, on if maybe some extraterrestrial intervention happened and they stole this probe on the way?
Where was it going?
They're going to the International Space Station, the ISS. Yeah.
Well, I know we take care of stuff that might expose us on Mars here. So on the DL, so maybe that probe was doing more than they disclaimed, and some of my homies took care of it. So it's possible. I didn't know about it.
Okay, so plausible deniability, that sort of thing. With like maybe. So anyway, this is reported by Reuters, one of our favorites. NASA's opening an independent investigation with Boeing over a software glitch that prevented its unmanned astronaut capsule from reaching the International Space Station. Yeah, so we got this thing floating out there with like a software glitch and something going on, and right, wink, wink, it's just a software glitch.
Yeah,
I guess these things happen.
It's gaining AI sentience, floating in space, slowly becoming conscious.
Right, exactly. And it's going to float for 10 million years before it finally wakes up and propels back to the Earth. Who knows? Yeah, there we go. So again, right? Like, if anybody knows anything about this, do you think there's anything alien involved here? Do you think maybe something? I think it's really weird, right? Like I've heard that there's a Linux system somewhere that's been running for 30 years and never been rebooted, and it's fine. Right, there's something to this effect, but then we put these super expensive things in space, and we get software glitches. Is that possible? Is that a possibility?
Well, I know NASA has like a rigorous code checking system where they'll print out your code, and they have like a whole team that reviews it before they approve it, because of this exact thing. One software glitch can kill like a whole space station, right? So it's interesting, but yeah, things get more complex. I could see this just being an issue, just a normal thing.
Yeah, like you don't reboot your machine before you do the radio show on the internet, and then things start to go. Ooh, that's what I mean, right?
That would never happen, Mike. Right? Never.
No, I've never done that. I've totally never done that. But I'm just saying, like, there's a reason you have to reboot it, right? Because you got all these different softwares going. You got this and that, like the memory leaks, and there's problems, right? That's kind of my point. When you're dealing with software, like my computer is probably $500. It's not that expensive, but this damn thing is what? How many millions is this? That's my point.
Right. How expensive was that? How much did that cost?
I have no idea. Probably more than I care to find out, because it would just piss me off. Because they just shot how many millions into space, and well, oops, we missed. Yeah, I mean, but it's happened before, right? It happened with the Beresheet lander on the moon. They just smacked it into the moon. They lost contact with it on the way out, and then bam, they landed it poorly and crash and burn. I don't know. Like, this stuff pisses me off. Don't you think at this point we would have software that we could, like in a downtime, it would reboot itself and clear whatever. Anyway, whatever. I'm not a coder. I'm just a consumer of electronics, and it pisses me off when stuff like this happens. And I would be super pissed if I bought this thing and they just, lost it due to a glitch. Okay, so anyway, right?
And you know that we have a secret space program, and that this kind of stuff is like, it's old hat. It's unnecessary, and we're just wasting money. We have programs all over the world and in the government, and they just want to get paid. So they're not going to admit that this stuff is irrelevant, and they're just going to keep getting paid to do these things. Meanwhile, we probably can hop in a Ford Alien ARV and get there in like under a minute and have no issues with no software glitches. But we still keep throwing money at NASA. And fun fact, wasn't NASA created the same year Majestic 12 and CIA was created, shortly after the Roswell incident?
That could be. I don't have the facts of that, but that could be. I believe you. I'm going to believe you and call it real news until otherwise determined fake news. I'll roll with that. But yeah, it could be. Yeah. Well, I do know that the National Security Act was put in place right after Roswell. So there's some suspicious stuff for you. So, okay, that was 1947. Okay, but it's, 2020. So, hey, we're in a different place, aren't we? Or not,
Yeah.
or not. All right, let's go. Let's move on from that. So we got here. This one's reported by, we talked about this a little bit in the past, but what's going on here? This is reported by airspace.mag.com. And the headline is, "A Stellar Mystery. How could 100 stars just vanish?" And what's up, Sherry? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for just listening. No problem. That's what we're here for. We're here for your listening pleasure. Thanks for being here. So this is now, okay, so a comparison of old and new star catalogs shows that some objects seem to have gone missing. And by objects, they mean entire stars. Okay, all right. So we have an image here, as you can see. I'll make this full screen, and I did link the article if you want to check it out in on your own devices here, big monitors or whatever. But on the left side here, it says where to go. An image taken in the 1950s on the left shows a large object at center that doesn't appear in the image of the same field taken more recently. So there you go. There's a square. There's a giant, like a large star. This thing's maybe one of the larger stars in this entire little panel of the sky. And then over on the right side, this thing's gone, just entirely gone. So it's a mystery. So I'll read some of this, but what the hell is this? How's that make you feel?
Galactus. It's got to be Galactus,
Yeah, right? Like the comic book guy. He just comes and eats worlds, eats planets.
Yeah.
Is that it? The Marvel guy?
Yep. That's him. Now we know where he is. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's in this quadrant in
I
space.
mean, what else could that be? What else? What could that be? I mean, I see it with my eyes. It was there. I wonder what they think it is.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea. And this is a little bit terrifying, don't you think? That is this. I don't know. Like things just don't disappear from the sky like this. So okay, so that this group is an international research group led by Beatrice Villaroyel from the Nordic Institute of Theoretical Physics in Sweden. They've got this thing called Vanishing and Appearing Sources During a Century of Observations. That's the project, VASCO. It's been comparing map stars listed in the U.S. Naval Observatory Catalog, dating from the 1950s, and of course comparing them to newer images, and they're missing. And so they're like, this has been going on for a little while, but they're missing not just one star in this slide. They're missing 100 stars as of current count, and they're going to continue. They're continuing this. So how many? You're right. It's not just one. Yeah. What the hell? Like, how do these just disappear? Like, this is a star in the night sky. And is this? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't even begin to come up with a theory for this.
Yeah,
because
it doesn't.
right.
I would have to have more data.
Galactus is as good as any.
Yeah, he's real busy right now. He was
yeah,
starving.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little bit weird. What's up, Robert? Robert on Facebook says NASA was established in 1958, succeeding the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. Thank you, 58. NASA was 58. So the National Security Act was 47. NASA 58. Appreciate that, Robert. Thank you for the information there. Ben says giant armada of UFOs heading our way, blocking the view. Hopefully that appear in these slides, right? The newer images. But okay, so what kind of actual things can you imagine? Like what crazy theory does anybody out there have that might actually explain this? Like how do we have images of the same part of the sky? Everything else matches up perfectly, except they're just missing a star.
I got one.
Okay, what do you got?
We ourselves are because if it can't be something blocking the view, because there would have to be things all over the place, and it would have to be inconsistent, right? If they're shifting or changing, and we're rotating and all that kind of stuff, either the stars are detonating, but there would be evidence of that, right? So we ourselves are probably shifting into another dimension, potentially, where we're kind of things are coming out of focus, right? I mean, that's the only thing I can come up with, and that's pretty much out of my rear. But
okay, so you think so we're thinking that there's this theory, which is completely just out of the rear, is like something is shifting, and maybe this is a dimensional thing. Maybe these stars were here and now they're no longer here. Maybe we were in a different place then, and maybe this time-space continuum bit from these sci-fi movies are actually a thing. Like what? I don't know. Like this is beyond me. How do you lose a star? Like, my car key's fine. A star? it should be
100 stars. That's what makes it crazy.
Exactly. It's not just one. Exactly. 100 stars. Exactly.
I don't
get it.
know. Maybe it's more software glitch. The Matrix. We're in the Matrix.
Like Larry says.
Software glitching.
Yeah, there you go. Larry says Matrix lights went out backstage. What's up, Chairman? Thanks for showing up. Chairman. Gabe says, clean the lens. They clean the lens. There you go, man. That's as good as an explanation as I could come up with. Because literally, right? Like, how do you just end up with missing things? Okay, and so granted, looking at just the photographs on the left side and the right side, it is higher definition and higher quality. You can see some just more clarity, because of course the technology have changed since the 50s. But it still doesn't change the fact that we're missing stars. So if they clean the lens, okay, maybe, right? Yeah, I would think that'd be repeatable anyway. What's up? Ben says that because of the distance, wouldn't the light bend around whatever the object is? Yeah, I think that's the thing. So if there's something blocking it, though, we would still be able to see it, right? Like, exactly. And if it was super small, the light would shine through it. If it was super large, that it was like a gravitational bend, you're right. The light would bend around a gravitational object. So we should still be able to see it. So I don't know. It almost seems like maybe there's something moving through the sky that does block these things. And yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's see. Robert says hungry black holes ate them. That's a good theory too. But where's the black hole in the image? I want to know. I want to know. I don't know. Ben says definitely weird. I'm fresh out of ideas here. Yeah, black hole maybe. Yeah, I have no idea. And so that's the thing, right? That's what makes this even more weird. It's like, how many times do you get like these scientific things where they pop out and you're like truly, entirely perplexed, and science has no ideas at this point either. So this is brand new. This hit in the past week or 10 days or a couple weeks or something like that. But I imagine as this continues, they're going to find more and more. So 100 stars to start. How many do you think they lost in, what would that be, 70 years? God. Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. That is super weird. Super weird. Any other ideas there, Ash? Any alien insight for us?
I don't know. It's kind of a omnibus. Omnis? Omnibus? You mean
Ominous.
Optimus Primus? Yes.
Ominous Prime. Ominous Prime.
Yes.
So here's some.
That.
It's that. So here's some stuff from the article. Perhaps the missing objects are signs of an advanced civilization, but they're probably not Dyson spheres. First, it would be hard to explain how such a giant construction project could be done in a short period of time and then also completely disappear, vanish the sun. So yeah, I mean, so they're throwing out some crazy ideas here, like saying this might be the work of advanced civilizations out there. Yeah, crazy stuff. What's up, Emin? Thanks for showing up. Good day, boomers. He says, hey, man, don't call me a boomer. I'm not a boomer. But, okay, so there we go. 100 stars just vanished. Boomer. Okay, Jesus. Really? Why?
I couldn't help myself.
Why?
I tried.
All right, fine. That's fine. I'm not a boomer. Nice try, though. Okay, so we have 100 stars missing, and nobody's got explanations. And I think the two best were maybe a black hole, says Robert, and maybe clean the lens, says Gabe. I think
maybe the aliens are building the wall around the planet. You know?
Yeah, right, like the Dyson sphere, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like they're building a wall around our planet because they don't want us going out. Who knows? We are supposedly moving through a part of the galaxy that's highly energetic or whatever, so maybe that has something to do with it. We can't see, just kind of like the lens. Like maybe it's more cloudy in here, so it's blocking the view. I don't know.
Yeah. Hell of some questions there. I have no idea. Ryan says, ask the alien about a picture of particles flying out of a black hole that we somehow took a picture of. The particles light years away. There's your tell us alien expertise. How do we get a picture of a black hole like hundreds of light years away? How do we do that?
If you come to Mars, I'll let you take a picture of my black hole.
Whoa. Thank you. I think, all right, there we go. Dick and fart jokes, it never ends. Ben says if they take more images later and they return, wonders what that will mean. Yeah, or let's say that they take more images later and there's more stars missing. Like, what's that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so hopefully, so that's only 70 years and we're missing 100 stars. So if we can lose 100 stars in 70 years, in a cursory check, and they're still checking different quadrants of the sky, maybe it's thousands of stars we're missing. And how terrifying is that? And what the hell does that mean about living in the Matrix or whatever the hell's going on here, man? There's some crazy stuff going on. Ben says Trump's space wall.
It just says that science really does. They don't know what they're talking about. I think the older I get, the more I'm like, humans don't know what they're talking about. They really just no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Some humans do, man. Come on. There's somebody out there. Somebody out there that knows what's up.
You guys are trying. You're trying.
Okay.
I respect.
There you go. Sherry says we're on our side. Pole shift. Lots of stars missing. Okay, there we go. That's as good a theory as any of us have. So I'll take that. Luke adds perhaps the use of the time travel or teleportation devices that screws our dimension. Yeah, right. Kind of moved us into a separate, different whatever the hell's going on here. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. We got a call coming in. Let's take this phone call and then we'll keep on trucking with this. But so what do you guys think? What are the theories? So 1950 they took some pictures of the sky, and 70 years later, 2020, we have stars missing. Yeah. 100 of them even. Okay, yeah. What the hell? All right, we're going to take this call, and let's do this. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and Ash. How you doing, buddy? What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Laramie Johnson from Oklahoma.
Laramie from Oklahoma. How are you, my man?
I'm doing all right, man.
Right on.
Hey, I wanted to call and tell y'all about them stars, dude.
Okay, let's hear it. I want to know. Right. You got a theory?
Yeah. I got a Bible verse for you.
Okay, even better.
All right.
Even better. What do you got?
Revelations 8:12. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. Now, like when they say the trumpets start, it's not immediate. I don't believe that it's like, like stars do fall from heaven eventually in Revelations, but it's not all at once. It's a gradual thing. It's like when I told y'all that I didn't say nothing, man. All of this is written in the Bible, but whenever it says in Revelation 6 that there was a red horse and power was given to him to take peace from the earth, that didn't happen overnight. That happened over many years, and it was a gradual thing. But all of these things hit a certain point to where it's like a slope down, and then there's a drop off, and that's when you notice that it hit. And eventually, it's too late to notice the drop off. You have to notice the decline, or the influx of the things that are written.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so are you suggesting that this is this isn't the book of Revelation in the Bible, and so that's the book of the end times. So are you saying that the missing stars in the sky are possibly heralding the end of times?
Yes. Well, it's the fourth angel sounding.
Okay, which is dropping. Here, let me read this one more
Which
time.
is it would be a third part of the stars not shining their light anymore.
I see. Okay. One more time. Revelation 8:12, and the fourth angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten, and a third part of the moon, and a third part of the stars. There it is.
Yes.
So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part, and it was the night likewise. Wow. Okay. So that's saying that like 33.3%, to be mathematically specific, of these things go dark, right? These things go dark.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man! Like that. There we go. I think that zips it up. It's the end of the world, guys.
Hey, so you got your
finally.
You got your Bible now?
Yeah, right. I don't have it. I don't have it with me. No, I don't keep it close. I'm sorry. It's in the it's in
Dang,
it's
you
in the
just
bedroom.
remembered what I said?
No, I read it from the chat. I cheated.
Okay, my bad.
You typed it.
Okay.
No,
I was like, holy crap, dude, good memory.
no, I should have cheated. Yeah, I totally just remembered what you said. No, no, that's from the chat.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
no, okay. So, all right. So what do you think about this then? Anything to add to this that you think that we should be on the lookout for? Should everybody just drop what they're doing and start praying? What's going on now?
Man, I'd advise everybody to do that. I sure would. Guys, this is from Revelations 8 also. If I'm allowed to. You want me to keep going for a second?
You got it, buddy. Go right ahead.
All right. And the angel took a censer and filled it with fire from the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices, thunderings, lightnings, and earthquakes. Yes, I've read this before. Hold on. And the seventh angel, which had the seven trumpets, prepared himself to sound. And the first angel sounded, and there followed hell and fire, mingled with blood, and it was cast upon the earth. And a third part of the trees were burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. Now, obviously, we can tell that the world is on fire. And I'll say this. In Australia, they're taking and blaming it on arsonists. But the reason why they're doing that is because they don't have a freaking explanation for it. It's just like the fires in California. they blamed it on that power company. They shut off the power, and then sure as the world, there was still fires and strong winds to match, which carries the fire and spreads it faster. Now,
That's true. That's true.
regardless if you believe in God or not, if God is real, I know that he is, but I'm saying that just for everybody else's sake. But if he is real, he created this earth, and he can control everything. He can control everything this earth does, like earthquakes and everything. And he would know how to make the perfect conditions to where whenever it's time for him to destroy what he's made, which he told us he was going to, it's not unfair. He gave us a warning. And he gave all of us a chance. He gave all of us a ticket to go to heaven. It's not his fault if we miss the date. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. There's a lot here. There's a lot with
that-
Revelation and the fires and brimstone and all this stuff. And like I said before, when we talked about this a couple times now, but it also it almost seems like these things are they seem to be perpetual. Like we seem to be in a perpetual state of the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like any given time, you could just open up Revelation and go, oh shit, here it is. But I think this one is weird. This one's super weird. 1/3 of the stars go dark from the sky is what this is saying, and right there in the Bible. And we're missing 170 years. So yeah, what the hell, man?
More.
Yeah, go ahead. One more.
Let me do one more. Okay. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. Now that's from Matthew 24. That's Matthew 24, 6 through 7. Sorry, let me read 6 real quick. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Okay, so the end is not yet. So I like that one. Let's have some positivity tonight. Yeah, so the stars are disappearing from the sky, but we'll roll with that. The end is not yet.
Okay. This is what he calls the beginning of sorrows, not. Yeah.
Okay, the beginning of sorrows. Okay. Okay, so we got some biblical corroboration here that this may be a bad thing. Larry adds on Facebook. What's up, Larry? He says, heavens will roll up like a scroll, pole shift or Nibiru blocking view on approach. That's an idea too, right? The dark planet or the small black hole. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Hard to say. Hard to say. I appreciate the call, man. You're the best, Larry. You're the best.
God bless y'all.
You too, man. You too, man. Thanks again for calling. Appreciate that. That's again as good a theory as we're going to get there. I think with the disappearing stars from the night sky. So this is a real thing. That's Larry, the only ordained pastor of Troubled Minds, and he's got typically has some pretty good takes. Did you catch some of that, Ash? What do you think?
Yeah, I just caught up. You know what's funny about a lot of these prophecies? It's I study the abduction phenomenon, and when people are abducted in their own ships, the aliens talk about an event that's going to happen soon, like a solar flash, and that they'll say your planet's moving into a fourth density, and etc. And it aligns with all of that prophecy. It can really explain it, like the planet is shifting, and a solar event happens, and you gotta admit we are in a weird time right now. Things are weird. I mean, you can almost feel it's kind of like something's happening, stuff shifting, and so it was always interesting. You can interpret the Bible a lot of ways, and you can interpret religion's origins a lot of different ways. Aliens, is it aliens on behalf of God? Is it a God? But it's pretty interesting. One of the fans said that there was earthquakes in Puerto Rico. We've had fires in Brazil and now in Australia. A lot of these things are matching up. Now we got missing stars and all kinds of stuff. So it's just interesting. Yeah. Who knows? Right? What do you think?
if if a third of the moon rolls up tomorrow and doesn't come back, I'm done. I'm gonna stop doing everything I'm doing, and I'm gonna take. I'm just start praying.
Throw up the white flag, you know.
Yeah, just start praying. That's it. Like I'm just going out front doing the yoga pose and I'm praying. I'm doing nothing else. So if the moon starts to disappear, you guys know where I went. You can find me in the front yard. That's where I'll be. It's but this is the type of thing. We got a couple good comments here. Thomas says you know what's fascinating? Illuminati follow the scriptures more than I see so-called Christians adhering to the scripture. The Illuminati are using the Bible as an operating manual and even have enough power to bring about most of Revelation, in my humble opinion. There's a lot there, and yeah. So I guess back to the Illuminati episode. Who's the Illuminati? I think that's the question. What's up, Paul? Paul from Wimslow, UK. Thanks for showing up, man. Man, Larry says that angelic shofars battle going on Earth as it is in heaven. Ooh. I didn't know this would take us to a deep place, but we got there. We got there fast, didn't we?
Yeah, we're in deep now.
Yeah. Alberto wants to know what's the fourth density. I'm not exactly sure, to be perfectly honest.
I'm not exactly sure either. It's something about like the veil between our world and theirs. So the theory is that aliens are extra dimensional, and that's kind of like I think where the evidence is leading, right, Mike? As we look more and more, they're kind of like coming from another, whatever that means, dimension, and that it's kind of like right next to ours. And it seems like maybe it's on a cyclical cycle where we kind of like bump into each other, or we're kind of closer, or the veil between both dimensions kind of becomes lighter. So it could explain all this weirdness going on, and how they're able to kind of come now more than they were before. So
yeah, hard to say. So Ben adds here on Facebook. What's up, Ben? He says next dimension, different vibrational frequencies. I think that's probably what we're cutting at here. And yeah, I don't know. I don't exactly know. Kelly says
I don't know either, guys. So just don't get me wrong. I'm just regurgitating information I see and I read and I learn. But I don't think anyone knows really.
Yeah, you'd have to be able to put it all together. And none of us have that tap into prophecy. At least if you do, call us 702-957-1037. Phone number. There's the phone number. We'd love to know if yeah, right. Sick segue. So if you know this stuff, if you know what's going on, if you think we're off track here, if you know why the stars have disappeared from the sky in many cases, are they coming back? I want to know. Are they going to continue to disappear more and more? Is this some sort of a nod to a prophecy and the end of times, or is this maybe Nibiru floating through the night sky? It's a very, very dark planet that we who knows, like what the hell's going on here. But yeah, I have no idea. Dimensional shifts, hell, I don't know. It's all above my head. You guys know this. If you listen to the show, you know this. It's all above my head. Kelly says, what about Nostradamus? Is a quatrain about 2020? I don't know. So I was digging into Nostradamus this past show. Again, I didn't catch anything. Nothing stood out to me. But I think you have to be a little bit of a seer to kind of know what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just read the words and there's no context, you tend to miss stuff. So I'm definitely guilty of that. Let's see. Ben says if we wake up one morning and our sun is gone and we're in real trouble. Yeah. Or let's say 1/3 of the sun. How about that? It doesn't come back. Then yeah. If you're not out front praying with me, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You better be drinking, having a hell of a time, or something. Right? I always wanted to go to Disneyland and go frickin' do it. Robert says, and Revelations describes the beast to a T as a personality of our current president. Come on, man. Oh, why do we got to go there? I'll continue reading. Even the wearing of the mark of the beast is on the foreheads. Make America great again, and those Trump hats rest right on the foreheads. Man, you are like the angles we take to go after the president. Okay, I read it. There you go, Robert. I read it. I'm not buying that, but I read it. Kelly says,
I kind of like that. I would like to see like a comic, where like, like in manga, they like will take like a character and they'll kind of change the design of them and the lighting and stuff and kind of make them look a different way. I'd love to see like a picture of like Trump, like with like this evil like light behind it, and like Trump supporters with like glazed eyes, Oh man, that sounds like a great comic.
If anybody's seen the new Star Wars, the Emperor at the end with the all his acolytes,
No, I haven't
something like
seen
that.
it yet. Is
Yeah,
it like
okay,
that?
okay. Now when you
Uh,
see it, you'll totally laugh when that part happens. No spoilers. No, everybody knows
great,
he's
great.
back. No spoilers.
Yeah, we already knew that. Yeah,
You
yeah.
already knew that. Okay, all right. So Ben says, ask to Benton Monks. What's up, Ben? Kelly says, I'll get it. Hold on. Sherry says, there's 3 suns. Look at that. Look at a magnetic map. Okay. All right. So Kelly's got it. He's going to read us a Nostradamus here. We're going to move on to a couple things here. Well, we got tons of stuff to talk about. Again, F it. If it hits the cutting room floor, fine. We can't get to stuff. We'll get to it another time. So, again, the whole reason we do it live is to include you. So if you guys got stuff to say, you know what to do. 702-957-1037. Do call us. I'll put the phone number up, and you can tell us about prophecy or Nostradamus or whatever the hell's going on out there. Why are we missing stars from the sky? I think it's definitely disturbing, let's say. To me, it's disturbing. Why is this a thing? And why do the scientists not know anything about it? You would think that the astronomers of the ancient world might, right? Like they took detailed records, they did all kinds of amazing things, and we discount them. We don't give them credit for things. But I wonder if in some ancient record somewhere buried in, say, I don't know, the Vatican, there's some sort of phenomenon they describe the ancients of stars going missing. Who knows, right? This can't be a new thing. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. So we'll keep on trucking here. But what else do we got? Anything else on the missing stars there, Ash? What do you think? End of times, or
you mentioned the Vatican. Yeah, I mean, I wish we can get in there too. There's some information about my grandfather, my reptilian grandfather, and how he made humans and this and all that crap. I just, I can't. I just want to get my history. Everyone else has DNA tree and on all this stuff, and meanwhile the Vatican's got all my stuff. And no one thinks about us reptilians. We're always the bad guy, just because we eat people.
No. Hold on. Alex Jones was very much saying that there's. He was speaking on your behalf by saying there's human rights and there's animal rights, but there's no alien rights. He said that. That's a quote. He said that in the Joe Rogan podcast. I remember that. So he was talking about you. He's talking about human pig chimeras and reptilians. So I think you're included. I think it's the next movement. We're going to start a Twitter hashtag or something.
Alex Jones, he's such a sweetheart.
He's such a sweetheart. He's always looking out for the reptilians. Yeah, go ahead and call Larry. No problem. If you want to call again, no sweat. Penny says it's light pollution from the bright moon. And that's why you can't see the stars. I don't know though. They're taking these are like from telescopes. These are photographs from telescopes. So I really don't know. Okay, here we go. Oh,
maybe
go ahead.
it's old telescopes. Maybe it's like technology limitation or something. Well, no, they disappeared. No, never
mind. They're gone. Everything else is there. They're just missing a single star. Yeah, crazy stuff. Here we go. So Kelly says that in the year, this is from Nostradamus, I'm told, in the year of 20 and 20, on the 20th day of the month of 10, plus 10, the man of crimson, who on the throne of leather will press the red button to bring the fire of Hades upon all of the earth.
Oh God! Oh my God! No.
Which quatrain is that? Which century in quatrain? You got that data for us there, Kelly? Pretty please, so we can so we can look that up ourselves.
The man of crimson. At least it wasn't the man of tangerine.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the tangerine man with the red hat. Shit. Well, oh boy. Okay.
Call it in then.
We jest. Everybody relax. We jest. Okay. So let's see. So Penny says the LED moon. Too much light pollution to see the stars. There's the answer. there it is. That's crazy, Kelly. That's crazy. Some things are lining up here. Okay. One more time. Let's see. We got one more. We're gonna go to Larry one more time on the phone, and then we'll keep on trucking here. All right. What's up, Larry from Oklahoma? How you doing? What's on your mind, my man?
Well, I am gonna kind of do the president just for a second. All right.
All right, go.
And okay. Now I voted for Trump.
Okay, wait.
That out there.
All right. You don't have to go there, man. We don't want to know what shoe size. No.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not a member of a political party anymore.
Okay, gotcha.
But I will tell you this: wouldn't it be good for the Antichrist if he acted like he was for evangelical rights and took the Republican Party, because that's usually evangelical? The reason why he would do that is because it also says in I believe it's Matthew 24. Hold on. That he, in the end times, even the very elect will be deceived by the Antichrist.
I can believe that.
And
I can believe that.
And I'll tell you this real quick too. It says in Revelation that the beast head will be wounded unto death, but on the third day he rises, because he mimics Christ. That's why they call him the Antichrist. And after he is resurrected, he is going to say that he is Jesus Christ, and he is going to have power given to him by Satan. All of his power that's been used to corrupt us, that we have seen in media and seen it in action our whole lives. And it was unbeknownst to us, because obviously he's not going to tell us that, hey, Satan's running the world. He's been tricking us this whole time. But when this happens, he is going to have powers given to him to where he can do miracles. He can rain meat like hellfire from heaven. He can do all kinds of crazy stuff. But he is not Jesus. I want everyone to know that.
Okay.
He even looked up in one of his interviews towards heaven and said that he was the chosen one.
That's right. He did. He did.
And Iran put an $80 million hit on his head. That's their cover-up, because they're going to do it themselves. And he knows that it's going to happen. He knows that it's going to happen, but he also knows that his family's going to be safe after that. Because if he doesn't, then they're just going to kill him, and they're going to kill his family. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
If
too
he
much.
doesn't do it, then it's going to be. Sorry, but
No.
I'm
just saying.
It sounds bad.
No.
I know it sounds bad.
I'm not saying that.
I would never do anything bad, and I would never commit suicide. Also, just
whoa. We don't got to get so dark, man. Nobody knows who we are here. We're a nice, happy, small family. We haven't rocked anybody's boat yet, so you're safe. We're all safe here. Don't worry. Don't worry, man. Nobody knows who we are.
Okay.
So it's okay. Okay. So there we go. So what I was going to say is that's enough talk about Trump for one night. You talk about Trump for more than 5 minutes at a time, and everybody flees the room. Just FYI. So you're good. I'm saying us collectively, not you. Us collectively, because we've done a little bit. We've done a little bit tonight. Okay. So all right. Anything else? We got to move on. We got some stuff to get to. Some climate change, and some other stuff.
I'm good.
I appreciate it. There we go. Thanks.
I love you guys.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Thank you. Love back to you, man. We appreciate you. Appreciate the calls. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate all the good information that you supply. And this is the thing, right? So we completely would have missed that. There's some Bible verses there that seem to maybe align with the stars going dark. Yeah. Anything else there, Ash, as you catch up to the call there?
No, I mean, that's interesting. I don't want to take a side, and get politics is always so dividing, and but it's true. You said this before with prophecies and stuff. You can kind of always fit it into the context of now, right? Because they said the same thing about Obama. They said the same thing about Bush, and I think the point of the prophecy is you don't really even know what's going on, if it is going on, right? So maybe not. It's interesting, and it's cool. It's cool to look these things up and try and parse them to now. But I think you can always make it fit one way or another, right? You could just interpret it differently. But it is very interesting, and I'm glad everyone's calling in, because this is fun stuff to talk about.
Definitely. So I got one more biblical back at you just while we're on the subject here. So I do recall a passage from the Bible. I can't tell you the verse or even the book, but it was talking about the end of days. And I believe that it says that it will come like a thief in the night. So we shouldn't expect it. So maybe these things are not. I don't know, lots of contradictory stuff in the Bible. But
World War III is trending on Twitter right now, so I don't think it's now.
Well, Twitter. I apologize to anybody that listens to us that has a Twitter account, but most of the people on Twitter are a bunch of assholes, just FYI. That's one man's opinion. One man's opinion. Okay, Alberto here has a great, so it's I think it's from the same people here. So Alberto on Facebook says, unless a star directly collapses into a black hole, There is no known physical process by which it could physically vanish, explains a new study published by the Astronomical Journal and led by Beatrice Villaroel of Stockholm University, which is exactly the article and the person we were just talking about. So thank you for pulling that up. That's exactly right. And so how the hell does it happen? How the hell does it happen? Yeah, John says, did Nostradamus ever say anything about Space Force? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. If you find it, I'd love to know. Okay, so we got some climate change to get to. Let's get to that. So this is the thing about climate change, right? It's whatever you believe about this, whatever the political shtick, left or right, like try and throw that out. Try and think about the information and the propaganda cycles and how both sides have a stake in what's happening, and they all want you to believe that the righteous thing is the thing that they're telling you. So just try and frame things in terms of that. Don't get mad. Think for yourself. Look at some of this data. Look at some of the information that we have to talk about tonight, and don't get. What would you say? I would say don't get.
The word is butthurt.
Yeah,
butt
like
hurt.
that. Butthurt. Don't
Yeah,
get.
but
Like this right here. Don't get.
How dare you?
Don't. There's no reason. There's just no reason for that. Okay, and just like, yeah. All right, so let's do it. Let's talk about climate change. We had time.
before we hop into that, yeah, keep in mind, guys, we're conspiracy theorists, so we're always looking for the conspiracy theory angle behind everything. So everything I hear, see, and read from your human media, I just don't believe it, right? And I always assume there's some sort of evil them agenda behind it. So yeah, that's how we're gonna look at it tonight, and we're gonna kind of have some fun with it. And we did some digging, and yeah, so.
Yeah, we've
Cool.
got some interesting information to look at here. So we're gonna do that in just a couple more comments. Luke says the current president cannot be the Antichrist. The Antichrist will be an individual and will not only be liked and admired by all in most of the world, in which Trump is not this great point. He says he will be wounded and heal himself accordingly. He will have solutions for the world and not just the U.S. Robert says if the beast is Trump, he is to reign 42 months, which means Trump will be done being president in July 2020. All right, so we got some scripture backing up the theories. I appreciate that. Good stuff, guys. And all right, let's do some climate change. What do we got here? Let me see. Where do we start? You got an article we can start with there, Ash?
Yeah, I'm going to start with kind of a preface at one to kind of let's set the stage, right? So
All right.
do the CBS News, United Nations run.
Testing 1, 2. You cut out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good. You're good now. All right, CBS. Hold on. I'm looking for it. Okay, so let's see. I think I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So so it says this is in October 8th, 2019. The United Nations is running on a deficit of 230 million, so not cash positive. In a letter to 37,000 employees, member states have paid only 70% of total amount needed for regular budget operations in 2019. I know there's like populist movement right now, so people are pulling their money. This translates into a cash shortage of 230 million at the end of September. We run the risk of depleting our backup liquidity reserves by the end of the month. So look
Wait.
at this. This is back in October 8th of 2019. So let's see some of their solutions that they
A couple
talk
months
about
ago.
here.
Okay, so the UN's running out of money. Run out of money a few weeks. Secretary General warns. Fantastic. What'd they do with all that tax money? The big conglomerates, they're supposed to take care of all the tax money. What the hell happened? Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So they're talking about to cut costs. They mentioned postponing conferences, meetings, reducing services. So basically, just having a good old time at the expense of the world, right? And cutting down travel to save energy. Although 129 states out of 193 have now paid their regular annual dues, the most recent being Syria. Wow. Okay. I'm surprised by that. Syria is part of the thing now, paying its dues, like a world globalist tax. It's crazy. UN spokesperson to export comment briefing in New York. Others need to pay urgently. Listen to this, urgently and in full. So, I just wanted to point this out that this is the UN was fucking going broke, right?
And this was this was as of October last year, which is a couple months ago. So just FYI. Okay. So there we go. So we set the stage here, going broke. And remember, so we have a climate protests happening in France, which are still going on, by the way, which don't get reported. Why? because there's a global agenda here. There's a globalist agenda, right?
You
I hate to
talking
sound
about
like
the
Alex
yellow
Jones,
vest?
but sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just the yellow vests, right? They're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they were
yeah. Yellow
protesting
vest
against
protest.
the
Yep,
tax.
still going on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
because
that's
of the
still
the
going on.
tax. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's still. This is the thing. It doesn't get national coverage. Just like Hong Kong's still going on. When's the last time you heard about a Hong Kong? Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's
still
true.
have millions of people in the street. It's this is the thing, right? Like this is the whole point of the 24-hour news cycle and propaganda and the nature of the news business is that they want to tell you the things they want you to believe, and the more they tell you, the more you should be scared of what they're telling you, because it's not the truth, it's not the right things, and there's other things going on in the world. So Russia, impeach, all that stuff, whatever the hell's going on here. Okay, so there we go. UN's out of money. What's the next thing here?
So I'm gonna just hit you with 3 articles in a row to show you, conspiratorial path of how the conclusion, me as a reptilian observing from afar, has come. So let's go to Germany needs shadow budget, CNBC.
And excuse all the ads. You just cut out again. Excuse all the ads. I had to undo my ad blockers here because all these damn sites are like, oh, you can't view our shit until you undo the ad block. And so yeah, I have to pause it on a bunch of these damn sites so you get these stupid, gaudy, ugly banner ads. Okay, anyway, so headline: Germany is finally opening up to more spending. Analysts say. Reported by CNBC. I dropped a link in there. All right, go ahead, Ash, if you're there.
So this is September 2019, right? So the UN's going broke, and then suddenly Germany is finally opening up to more spending. Analysis. Who is this analysis?
Oh,
What is this
okay,
shit?
so that's September 11th, 2019. That's 1 month before the UN's out of money. Yeah,
Yep,
they better
So the
start spending.
increasing risk. Yeah, we got to spend some money. We need some money for stuff. So the increasing risk of economic recession is putting pressure on German officials to explore ways to open up the coffers a bit more. Media reports out earlier this week suggested that Berlin is considering a shadow budget, which would allow it to take on new debt through new independent public agencies without including the numbers under its federal budget. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But there's something in here. Let me find it.
Yeah, let's see. John wants to know where did journalistic integrity go? Yeah. Yeah. Good one. Emin says they run out of money. That's absolute horseshit. Yeah, exactly. The UN, right? The main, what would you call them? The poster child for globalism is out of money, right? So the only way to do that is to absorb more countries into the globalist regime, so you can steal more money and then spend it or lose it. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Ash.
Check this out, guys. So Brzezinski, oh my God, I have no idea how to say that. Explained that changing the debt break would take too long. Take too long, right? Because we're about to run out of money. Thus, having a shadow budget or even some kind of sovereign wealth fund would be a good way out. Oh, it's so messed up. It increasingly looks as if the government will link any new investment to climate change. This topic will also get broad support, he added. Listen to that. So, Guntram Wolf, an economist and director of the think tank Bergos, told CNBC that German government is actively looking into creating a shadow vehicle to fund green investments. They do so more to tackle climate change than fend off a recession. So now they're like, no, it's not about being broke. It's about climate change. So I'm not arguing whether climate change is real or not. Obviously, climate
I'll do
change
that.
happens.
I got that part.
Right. Okay. I just want to show you that, there's always an agenda. If something's in front of you, it's an agenda, right? That someone's spending money to get that there, or they're hoping you're going to spend money. So, look at this. This is pushed through the media, right? And they're just saying it out in the open, but no one's paying attention. They're not following the breadcrumbs. So when it finally hits, people get emotional, blah, blah, blah. Sociopaths take your money. That's pretty much the deal, right? That's how it works. So one more story, and I'll wrap this up.
All right. Roll. Telegraph.co.uk, I'm guessing.
No, either the Clean Energy Wire or the New York Times.
Okay, I got cleanenergywire.org headline: Germany to reach goal of 4 billion euros for international climate financing by 2020. off their budget draft. Linking it. Go ahead, Ash.
There you
Oh,
go.
Jesus.
I mean, do we even need to say anymore? So now Germany to reach 4 billion euros for climate change financing by 2020. So they're like, okay, we're broke. We need to raise money. How do we figure it out? Climate change is a good reason. Hey, we're raising the budget for climate change. Everyone help. And there it is. Just like that. You just got to follow the breadcrumbs, right? And so the German government said it will reach its target of doubling budget funds for international climate financing to 4 billion euros annually by 2020 compared to 2014. So that's it. That's my little spiel right there. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that, Mike?
Okay, so you're saying the implication here is that it seems that there seems to be a correlation between money and climate. And the more money you throw into the climate bucket, the better the climate gets, right? Is that what they're trying to tell us?
Yeah, it's like, hey, there's fires all around us and the environment's bad. Oh my God, what do we do? Quick, give me $20. Give him $20 and he just walks away.
Right. And then you throw it in the fire, and then you're like, "Damn, that $20 sure went fast. I need another 20." Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So then you raise the gas tax by 25 cents in France, and then the people riot because they ain't having it. It's not. This is the thing, right? Now this is the thing. Like we talked about this in the past. So it's like okay. So we have sea level rise, which we'll get to. We got that on deck. But if this is really the case, then why are elites? Like, why did Obama buy that? The Obamas buy that house on Martha's Vineyard right on the coast. Martha's Vineyard, look it up. They're right on the coast. Like they will be the first ones flooded when the sea level rise is imminent. Actually, it's supposed to happen this year, 2020. I've got articles to prove it. From the past, articles from the past. So why? Why do they invest their money right there? You think if they were in the know of these global elites, they know what's going on, they would buy maybe, a couple miles off the coast. So they had, 100 years of coastline after the coast actually got washed out. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Okay. Anything on that, Ash? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you look at the historical record, climate change does happen. And since the conception of humankind, which hasn't been very long since you humans have been on Earth, right? There have been 16 civilization-ending events, meaning that if any one of those 16 things happened, our civilization would be brought back to the Stone Age, down to its knees. So it's going to happen, guys. And there's no amount of throwing money at whatever. I'm sorry to say, the party's going to end at some point. So just kind of enjoy it, while you can. And, I think if you follow the story of the Anunnaki and all that stuff, they supposedly came here to this planet, created humans to mine gold. And what was the gold for? To stabilize the atmosphere. Well, if that's all true, then we've carried on with our love of gold. So maybe gold is the real thing that we need to do to save ourselves. But we love it so much because we don't know why that we would never do that, put it in the atmosphere, right? So so it's kind of like ironic, right? It's like we value gold because it goes in the atmosphere, but we value it too much to put it in the atmosphere. So maybe gold's like our only chance to stabilize our atmosphere, keep it even. Anyway, but shipping your money off to a broke UN isn't going to do it because they can't pay the bills. It's like your cousin needs money and you're like, okay, I'm going to pay you money, but can you spend this money to buy me something? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Like, that's not going to happen, right? So
definitely not. Yeah, do something good for me when I give you my money. Yeah, exactly. Ben says that UN spending money like drunken sailors. Couldn't agree more. Steve says we can stop global warming, just pay us carbon taxes. Yeah. Thomas says they already have a global stealth fund. They are trying to make it more public because someone has been exposing them lately. Who's been exposing them? Are you saying the world's waking up? Elizabeth says the climate is changing because big powers are manipulating the weather with aerosols and frequencies. And that's an entire other show. Geoengineering. That's a whole other show. We'll do that at some point as well. We've kind of touched on that from time to time, but we haven't actually done a whole damn show on that. That's happening. Steve, 2 men in a mansion. He says, Ben says, fuel prices here in Australia at the moment, $1.75 a liter on average. I'm going to have to start riding a bike to work at this rate. And that's the point, right? So when you press the taxes so hard and so far that normal common people that work for a living can't even afford the fuel, that's the point, right? They don't want you to buy it. They only want the rich to buy it. This is the whole point. The elite, so everybody gets priced out except for the super rich and the super elite. And then what? Then we're riding bikes and they're driving cars, right? And we're the plebs. It's, again, this class division bit, this whole take over the world from the top, squeeze everybody out of like any sort of actual comfort, right? Like, this is the thing. So explain to me this. Just explain to me, given the entire situation of carbon taxes and the 25 cents and the yellow vests in France and like whatever's going on, like whatever you want to cite, for climate change and the way that the legislation is going after it, the politicians and the elites and the corporations and all this. So explain to me, at what point is it okay for Leonardo DiCaprio to jet set chasing 20-year-old ass, and the rest of us, we have to, like, California saying, well, you can, take a shower or you can wash your clothes today. You can't do both, right? Like, these are the types of things. So, the regular people, we have to give up everything we have, and we don't have much, right, as a regular people. But the elites, I tell you what, they can do whatever the hell they want. They heat their swimming pools, right? And it's fine. Like, nobody gives a shit. They have private jets. Nobody gives a shit. And this is the problem, right? Because they're paying the politicians. They're the ones forking in the money and saying, hey, they don't mean themselves. They mean you and me. They say, hey, you can only take one hot shower a week or it's illegal, right? You watch. The shit's coming. The shit's coming. They want to take away what we have, right? And we don't have much. We don't have much. The common people doesn't have much. Go ahead. Sorry, Ash. There's my soapbox for a minute.
No, yeah, it's true. I mean, don't they want us to eat bugs? Don't they have, like, I heard that they have an agenda where they're trying to feed bugs to the, I've heard a quote that they call us feeders, right? We're just the peasants that live outside their castles, and they're trying to, like, curb the herd so they can enjoy their life even better than they already do. I want, if only we had someone who could just publicly go up in front of these guys and rip them a new one. Oh, wait. Didn't Ricky Gervais do that?
Yeah, he did do that.
Talk about that next?
He did do that. I put that in Discord. We can play a little bit of that, where he goes after these Hollywood elites. A nice segue talking about what's his name, Leo DiCaprio there. Yeah, we'll play a little bit of that if you guys didn't see it. But this is the point, right? The rich people are telling the poor people how to live, and saying, hey, you can only have this, you can't have that. You can only water your lawn on Tuesdays, but I can have a heated swimming pool. Like, these are the types of things, right, where it's like, hold on, it's like the whole two-tier justice system. Again, like I say it all the time, we're living in the upside down, and this is part of it. It's like, okay, so do you really believe? Never mind. I could tangent this forever. Forget it. Okay, I'm like, fuck. Something knocked me off.
Not a boomer.
Just shove me off the soapbox. What's up, Kelly? Says the reason France or even Europe has gas prices raised is because they pay way more per gallon. Yeah, well, that's why they're rioting. But that's the point. Is it comes to a breaking point. I hate to use point twice in the same sentence, but okay. The point is, it comes to a breaking point. God damn it! And so you can only raise taxes so much. Okay. Anyway, Abraham says we should not worry so much on us and on money and start working on the planet Earth. It's not that. It's not that. I don't think it's that at all. Like, this is the problem, right? So explain to me. Like, I agree with you 100% there. It's not about what we have, but when you say that we can't even take a hot shower anymore, and it's coming because our carbon footprint is too high, but then the politicians and the rich people are running around doing it 10 times a day, there's something wrong there. The law should apply to everybody. And basically what that means is nobody can have a mansion. Nobody could have anything because we need to live in grass huts and eat crickets. Like Ash was saying there. You know what I mean? You get the point. Anyway, a lot of good comments here.
I eat bugs anyway. They're pretty delicious to me. But
are they?
I prefer human. And Chinese food is my favorite. Chinese people. Oh, I love takeout.
Jesus Christ. Why, Ash? For the love of God, why? Okay, all right. Gibby, what's up? Thanks for showing up.
Good point. You want to save the earth, right? So, but how is shipping your money somewhere going to do anything. We should take personal responsibility, like stop overfishing, like we have to do that, plant new trees, prevent these fires. These are all things that like we have to do together, right? This can't be like a top down imposed thing. And if there's like these secret, like, okay, so they want to gas tax us, right? Well, we're not the ones that like created the car industry and and monopoly on travel, right? We didn't we didn't invent the car. We're not suppressing the technologies and assassinating people who try and innovate and come to the next level. That's the elite. That's what they do, right? That's their fault. So then they want to tax us for it. It's just a cash grab. It doesn't make any sense. It's not how it works. I'm all for fixing the planet and doing what we need to do. So release these technologies. Then you don't have to use that anymore. But I'll tell you what, based on the data of polar shifts and all these extinction level events, we're going to have, yeah, we can do a good job of taking care of the planet, but the planet ain't too nice. It's going to kill us all eventually. And we got to take it to the next level to survive. Why do you think the government's building all these underground bases and stuff? Because they look at the real history. They don't look at the emotional, make you feel good history. They look and they see that this stuff has happened before and they're preparing, and we're not really included in that, right? So, I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves first and not get emotional and just and put the problems on the table and really figure them out instead of like,
hey,
yeah. So anyway, that's my.
I'm gonna get emotional all I want. All right, I'm gonna get emotional. That's what I do. That's just what I do. All right.
Just don't hit me, Mike.
All right, you're fine. You're safe. You're on Mars, bro. My arm's not that long. All right. So Robert says Tom Selleck. Everybody remembers Tom Selleck, Magnum PI. Tom Selleck got fined a ton of money for watering his lawn drain in drought a couple years ago. That's why he pushes to scam reverse mortgages on TV these days. But this is the thing, right? So they do. Okay, so they do. So you're saying they fine him, okay? But here's the thing: if you're on the scam, if you're in on the scam and you're in on the take, and you're printing money, basically, you're a billionaire. You can pay all the water fines you want. So it becomes about money, right? It becomes about, well, I'm going to wash my laundry today and I'm going to take a shower, right? The rest of us, if you get fined for that stuff, you can't. You see? So it in the end, right? Like this is the frustrating part. Like you say, you can't equate conservationism of the earth with money. They're two completely different conversations. But look what I just did. In one sentence, I combined them because you see what's happening. Because what they can do is they can price a certain portion of the population out of that, but then a certain part of the population is priced into that. You see? So it is. It's not a fair thing. It's not a across the board thing. Anyway, too much soapbox. Kelly says insects have a lot of protein. Actually, hey, Kelly for president.
So do humans.
Yes, so do humans. Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go.
Try it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, here we go. All right, so we're gonna do this. So Larry brought this up earlier. We're gonna move on real quick. Wait. What do we got? We'll do Ricky Gervais another time because we got some stuff to get through. This is supposed to be about climate change, so let's talk about some of this real quick. So, okay, this is reported by realclimatescience.com, and this individual is censored left and right. Okay, so this guy goes back into the archives of what people were talking about back in the day, and he actually does. He's a scientist. He's not a particular climate scientist, but that seems to be the way they shut you out of it. You're not a meteorologist, you're not a climate scientist, but whatever. So here we go. So here's a report from 1939 on the fires in Australia. Yeah, 1939. All right, we're gonna wind this up in Australia today and the fires today. Okay, so after the 1939 fires in Australia, wait, did I link this? Yeah, I did link it. Okay, so after the 1939 fires in Australia, there was a commission set up to study what happened and what could have been done differently. Number one, the fires were man-made. Does that sound familiar? Number two, there was a long drought followed by extreme heat. I don't know about Australia. I don't live there, but does that sound familiar to anybody? Number three, almost the entire state of Victoria appeared to be on fire on January 13th. Number four, it was dark as night at midday. Number five, the amount of controlled burning was ridiculously inadequate. And this is the report to the Royal Commission talking about the fire in Australia in 1939, which, here we go. These fires were lit by the hand of man. Friday the 13th of
Oh,
January
that's
on
biblical.
that.
That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah, right?
biblical. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, anyway, I linked this if you guys want to read some of this. So this goes back, right? Like they're telling you, look at what they're telling you now. They're saying, "Hey, the reason these fires are burning is because in part to climate change." Right? Scour the news line, you'll see. Matter of fact, here we go. Let's go to Russell Crowe. Let's see what he had to say about it. So he recently won a Golden Globe, right? And he wasn't there, but he did leave a message, which Jennifer Aniston uncomfortably read. Let's watch this for just 1 sec. This is what's happening in Australia.
Russell Crowe could not be here with us tonight because he is at home in Australia protecting his family from the devastating bushfires. He sent along this message in case he won. Make no mistake, the tragedy unfolding in Australia is climate change based. We need to act based on science, move our global workforce to renewable energy, and respect our planet for the unique and amazing place it is. That way, we all have a future. Thank you.
Okay, can you explain to me real quick how these people read lines for a living? And she looked extremely uncomfortable doing that. Can anybody explain that to me? Okay, just checking.
Wait, what did they say?
Just checking. Just checking. No, she said, so Russell Crowe won an award, and he was in Australia. So he couldn't be there to accept the award, but he left a statement saying that he was in Australia protecting his family from the wildfires, the bushfires, as she said. And she said that. Rewind it. I'm going to link it. She said it, the bushfires. What the hell is a bushfire? But, okay, but here's the thing, right? So he's there somehow protecting his family, what, with his fists? Like how the hell, like, I just don't understand, right? Like, and then he has to throw in that this is definitely because of climate change. Okay, so anyway, so we go back, exactly. So back to the...
I feel like Hollywood is owned. Like, they're all, like...
yeah,
owned,
the devil.
Trained monkeys.
The devil.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well... Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is a report on the 1939 fires, and it was dark as night at midday. So tell me, do you think that sounds worse than maybe what's going on now? So was 1939 global warming as well, climate change? I don't know. That's a good question, right? So here we go. Now, remember, they were man-made. Those fires were man-made, said that report. Here we go. Here's another one. This is reported by ABC News, and this could be propaganda. Remember, we always have to take every source we get as possible fake news. Propaganda, the 24-hour news cycle, brainwash, all this stuff. But look at this. Reported by ABC News. It says right here. 24 Australians arrested for deliberately setting fires this season. The country has been ravaged by wildfires this summer. So people setting fires it has something to do with climate change, right? Of course not. But what they're saying is that it's burning out of control. But if you go back to the original report in 1939, they say that the amount of controlled burning was ridiculously inadequate. So if they had actually been doing the things they were supposed to do, like in California with PG&E and the infrastructure over there with the wildfires where they blew down the crappy electrical poles or whatever was going on to start the fires, if they were actually spending money on the infrastructure like they should be, doing the controlled burns like they should be in the checker pattern, look it up. Like, there's a science behind this. There's an actual science behind this where you can keep entire sections of your country from burning up by doing controlled burns. 1939, the amount of controlled burning was ridiculously inadequate. Okay? And it was man-made, started by the hand of man, biblical, like Ash said. Sorry, I'm going on too much. So okay. Are we seeing a similar thing, 1939 and today? We can see some parallels already there, Ash? What do you think?
I mean, it's crazy. This is kind of what got us started, right, with the climate change stuff today, is going about our business, keeping an eye on the fire. And we knew they would blame climate change. But I actually have an article here that says, please take legal action against nearly 200 in Australia for alleged bushfire-related offenses.
That was the next one. I'm going straight to that. Go ahead. Reported by the Epic Times. I'm going straight to that. So the first one was 24 Australians arrested for deliberately setting fires. And now what's this next one? What's it say?
State authorities in Australia have taken legal action against nearly 200 people for bush fires. What did she say?
Bushfire. She said a bushfire.
Bushfire related offenses. Since the devastating bushfires began, I'm going to get stuck saying it that way from now on. Since November, a total of 183 people have been targeted by police across the states of Queensland, New South Wales, not safe for work, that's what it looks like, Victoria, South Australia, and Tasmania for 205 bushfires related offenses. I can't even say it now. Local media reports. 24 people were apprehended, and further 53 are facing legal action. What the hell is going on? That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Okay, so the first one said 24 people were arrested. This concurs. In NSW, which would be New South Wales, 24 people were apprehended and charged with deliberately lighting bushfires. A further 53 are facing legal action, and another 47 are accused of improperly discarding a lit cigarette or match outdoors, according to the state's police force. Okay? So now explain to me this, right? So we have a little bit of warming going on, maybe coming out of the ice age. You can't really quantify it because every ice age is a little bit different. And so they're literally telling us that because these fires are burning, and they're burning out of control because of global warming. However, we have actual people that started these fires. We have the report in 1939 that says the reason they burned out of control is because they weren't doing proper controlled burning exercises and actually managing their work and their land like they should be, which would, is a government thing. Is anybody shocked as they ask for more money to fill potholes in the roads? Of course not. Nobody's shocked. Nobody's shocked. They have the money. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. The money disappears into the pockets of who? Who? Yeah. Now here's another one. Check this out. Now is this propaganda? Check this out. So far, like Laramie said that they're saying that the people started these fires because they don't know how they started, which is fine. That's fair because again, you can't take these sources at their word because they're a source from the government in many cases, right? And they spin the story and do what they do. But check this out. It's reported by thefreebeacon.com. And if this is a what's up Eddie's Bike Garage? That's pretty funny. You're being a funny guy. Okay, so freebeacon.com. So reported ISIS tells followers to set forest fires in U.S. and Europe.
Oh shit! I didn't see this. Scandalous.
Yeah. Scandalous, right? Okay, so now tell me now this is in Arabic or what's the other language there?
Oh, you can't read that?
No, I can't read that. Actually,
it looks like a picture of Godzilla. Looks like they drew Godzilla.
That could be Godzilla. That could be.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so a media outlet affiliated with ISIS has been instructing the group's radical adherents to set forest fires in the United States and Europe to cause mass ecological disasters, according to posts on an internet forum dedicated to the terror group. At least 4 propaganda posters that have appeared in the pro-ISIS I can't say it. Media outlet have urged followers to ignite fires as part of the ongoing jihad against America and its allies. Now, wow. we have 200 people under suspicion of starting fires. Now, I'm not saying... Now, look. Back off. Everybody relax. I'm not saying ISIS did this. I'm saying, is this another layer of propaganda? Probably.
A conspiracy within a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the hell is actually going on here? What's actually happening? So this is being reported. This is, they're saying, so maybe, what if this is the case? Just like Larry said when he called in earlier, he said, hey, the PG&E turned off the power, and guess what? They still had fires. And that happened. That's a fact. So what the hell's going on here? What's really happening here?
Yeah, but see, it may be this, it may be something normal, just maybe a coincidence, but the media is going to push it toward their narrative. You saw how those Hollywood stars were already all over that. Climate change, all over it for their narrative. Yeah, and it could have been ISIS. Wow, I didn't see this. This is nuts. Look at that picture. What the hell? Are we in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, we live in the Upside Down. Welcome to the Upside Down. Yeah, okay, so we got some more here. We're gonna with the regard to the fires here. Okay, so we have some. This is reported by Quillette.com. I'm gonna paste this per usual. And again, right? So explain to me this. We have people starting fires. We have government institutions that aren't doing their controlled burns like they're supposed to keep these fires in check when they do start. And then somehow, some way, this is a product of global warming, of climate change, let's say. Come on now, right? Like, come on, please. Like, you actually have to think about this and look at the sources and what's going on. I can hear you out there rolling your eyes. But Mike, The shit you're reading is propaganda. You're right. But look, how much of it is a different story? It's like a different slice of a different story of one propaganda, the next, the next. But what's really happening? Just like Russell Crowe said, he's in there punching the fire back, protecting his family in Australia, right? Right? Whatever the hell he's doing, the gladiator, right? Well, hold on. I got one of these. Hold on. Oh, this is too perfect. I happen to have this. Ready? Action.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Yeah, that's right. I just happen to have that. It was an accident. I put it up for a show 10 shows back. It's been in there this is the soundboard. No. Like, are you not entertained? Like, Russell Crowe can be down there just whooping the ass of some fires with his fists, and he's down there protecting his family from this fire. Does anybody believe this shit? Come on.
Russell Crowe's in the Gladiator, right? Is that the joke you just made?
That's the guy. That's the guy. Yes, that's the guy.
Okay.
Are you not entertained, Ash? Watch a Human Earth movie, for crying out loud, once in a while. Okay, so there we go, right? So nobody believes that. Nobody. Come on. Do you think he's anywhere near that fire with his family? Of course not. Of course not. He's on his jet. He's on his private jet, flying away to where to the coast. To be on vacation. Get out of here, man.
He's got some staff who's scared shitless that he left on the property. He's
some Aboriginal folks that he's paying like pennies on the dollar to like hose his house down so it doesn't burn, right? Like, I speculate, I jest, it's a joke, everybody relax. But what the hell's actually going on here? Nobody believes that shit. He's not down there punching the fire. Get out, man. Okay, so here we go. As we continue. One country at a time, boys, says Sherry. I agree 100%. Okay, here we go. So a little bit more on the before we move into some of this other climate change stuff. I got some sea level rise we're going to get into in just a sec. But real quick, since we have the fires burning, let's look at this tweet by Rihanna. Rihanna, what the hell is her name? Rihanna. I don't listen to that crap, so Rihanna. I don't know how to say it. There you go.
She's one of us, bro. She's a reptilian.
Is she one of us?
She's a really famous reptilian.
Oh, she's a reptilian.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Rihanna, that's how you say it. She's a reptilian. All right. So she tweeted, check this out. Right there on the screen. Check it out. She tweeted this photograph of the fires burning in Australia. There you go. So we see
a dinosaur.
Yeah, like a dinosaur with like a raging case of something. Yeah. Okay.
Godzilla again.
Yeah, Godzilla again. So Godzilla comes out of the ocean and sets Australia on fire. Okay, so here we go. So check it out. You look at this and you go, holy shit, that is a lot of Australia that's on fire, right? Everybody's spreading this. This is everybody's like, damn, this shit's burning up down there. I tell you what. Yeah, no? Guess what? That's a fake image. No. Do you want to see the real photograph? Here you go. Here's the actual photograph of what it looks like and what's actually burning down there. What's that? Sorry. Am I freaking out here?
No, go. Yeah,
go.
Get him.
Freaking out. All right, check it out.
Get him,
so there you go. Fake. No, this is not a satellite photo of the fires burning in Australia. This is. And you want to see where the fire is at? Down here in the right-hand corner. That's right.
Down under?
Down under. Down under where the toilet flushes the other way, I'm told, but I don't think that's actually true. But down here in the right-hand corner, you can see it, right? You see the smoke down here? This is where the fire's burning. Did you see the image? This is what I'm talking about. Rihanna, sorry, fail. Like, do a simple fact check. This is a artist representation of cloud cover that they turned into fire. All right. Sorry, Rihanna. Reptilian fail for tonight. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. Anyway, so again, I don't know what started these fires. I don't have boots on the ground. I don't have inside sources in Australia. I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is this particular fire right now, what's going on now in Australia is not because of climate change. That's what I can tell you for sure. Like, you can say maybe in a negligible manner that maybe it's going to burn like an extra 1% or something than it might have otherwise. But this is mismanagement by the government. This is people in arson, right? And dare I say ISIS. I'm not going to say ISIS because that sounds ridiculous. How ridiculous is that? Okay. Anyway.
I mean, we don't know yet, right? They haven't released a statement on these people and why they did this. It's a lot of people, 20 plus people, all at one time, you know. And but yeah, it is funny to watch anything that pops up, the red, uh, the left, the right, the media, everyone's trying to spin everything their own way. I mean, look at the Joker movie. That was spinned 15 different ways to Sunday, but that movie was about mental health. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with this. Everyone's trying to shove this disaster into their own narrative, and people aren't waiting for the facts. And when the facts come out, the story gets crazier. What the hell? 20 plus people lighting fires in Australia? And I mean, how many millions of animals were killed? I've seen pictures of koalas just fucking
Yeah.
bailing on the forest, bro. Just
Yeah.
jumping in cars and
500
stuff.
million, they say. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that koalas are Ubering out of the forest to get away from the fire. That's
Yeah.
insane.
That's
You know
insane.
something's wrong.
And, okay,
So-
let me read this. And so Ben in chat is from Australia, and I don't mean this in a negative way. It's a terrible disaster, and I don't wish it on anybody. Okay, so Ben says, "Man, you have no idea. No offense. 1,600 million acres is burnt or is still burning."
Jesus.
I agree, and it's sad. It's terrible. But if you don't think there's some sort of land management involved with that, then I think, or maybe arson. So if you have an idea, if anybody really knows what's going on down there, I don't live there, clearly. If you do and tell us. Please join the Discord, 702-957-1037. You can call us. We do this live because we want to hear from you. I'm one dude in one place. Ash is one dude, one reptilian on Mars. We can't actually figure out what the hell's going on worldwide. That's what we have you. So if you want to tell us what's happening and correct me, I stand to be corrected, and I hope to be corrected. And that's the entire point of this, why we do it live. We want to include you. We want to read the chat. We want you to call in and tell us what's actually happening here. Because if there's something going on down there, right, that maybe we didn't consider, maybe that the propaganda media isn't feeding us, we want to know about it, right? Am I right, Ash?
Mm-hmm. I mean, news is coming out, and the whole story isn't even out yet. So we're just trying to figure it out with you guys. Right, you're only one man, Mike, and I'm one reptilian. I mean, the most I can do is have my ship go nuclear and just plow it into the planet, send you guys back to the Stone Age. But I don't think that's really helpful. So, yeah, it is a tragedy. It's terrible. And if someone did this, I talked to someone about false flags the other day, and they're like, "Why do you care?" It's because they do false flags because they work, because it works. So, we have to be vigilant that if someone is doing this for some reason, we need to come to the truth. The truth will set you free, right, Mike? And we need to know so that we don't fall for stuff, so people don't do horrible things. There's like what's that method where you propose a problem, and like if you want to change something, you introduce a problem, and then you offer them a solution, which was the change that you wanted, right? So in order to not get manipulated by governments, by ISIS, by whoever, we have to be vigilant to be aware of the narrative and these agendas, so that we can prevent these things from happening again. And instead of doing what feels good, just what feels good, like, oh no, poor people, climate change, we have to be vigilant to know what the truth is, so we can actually help people and prevent things. And it's just a tragedy, and it sounds like on some degree it shouldn't have happened, right? And we have to be honest about that.
Well,
What
but
do you
then,
think,
but then again, not to be disrespectful or what would you say, just douchebaggery about it. So Ben lives down there. He says land management is not the issue, not the cause. I'm with you, but I'm saying that. Do you think that if they had done more of this or less of that, things might be different? That's what I'm saying. You can't blame it on one single thing. You see, I gave it like a spread of things. That, hey, look, there's a bunch of things happening at play here, but the media that you read says it's global warming, it's climate change. That's my point. It's not me knowing what happened. I don't know, right? But I'm saying that there are many factors at play here. We have chaos theory, right, where you can't really take a complex system and narrow down one single answer to anything. You just can't. It's impossible, right? Like cause and effect, of course, but when you're talking about ecosystems and things of this scale, there are many factors at play here. But that's not what the media tells you. That's my point. That's the whole point. So please don't take it like I'm telling you, I'm preaching to you. I'm saying that there are things they're not telling us. That's what I'm saying. And so we got to be aware. We have to actually keep an eye on the propaganda. And yeah, so again, Ben, apologies. It sucks. Like, catastrophes happen, and it sucks that you're down there. Ben says, okay, it continues. It says there was so much smoke at some places it was causing its own weather patterns, creating lightning, starting more fires, just like volcanoes. It's like a tinderbox out there, the whole country. Okay, and that's what I'm saying, right? So is that any different from 1939? You know, just for comparison's sake, they said that there's a comparison's sake. Sorry, there's a in that article which I linked. They said that there's a it was dark at noon, midnight dark at noon, is how much these fires were. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, that's the point. It's not, again, I don't have answers for this. I'm just telling you, it's the answers are not simple. That's all. And so when you get propaganda sources telling you the answers are simple, send us more money. That's suspicious as hell. That's all. Okay, so there we go.
And
so
also keep in mind, guys, we're conspiracy theorists, right? So that's the angle we're always going to take.
I'm a fringe analyst. I take offense to that. Conspiracy theorist is a pejorative. Get out of here. I'm a fringe analyst.
I'm just
fringe
a crazy
analyst.
alien.
Okay,
so,
crazy alien.
Whatever.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I'm saying is like, we're always trying to look for the other angle, we're not there, and it's hard to. I was actually at Penn State. Do you remember the Joe Paterno scandal?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
The pedophilia bed. Good night, Penny. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate that. Good night. Yeah, go ahead. Joe Paterno, Penn State.
Yeah, so I was there during the whole thing, and the media was actually stoking the flames of that whole confrontation because there was kids, they were protesting, but they were just walking around. They're not really doing anything. And the media trucks, the women there, this woman was like, "This isn't a riot. What is this? Come on!" And she was like literally egging the students on. And any little thing that they did, they would report in the news. So it was my first real experience seeing that what happens in the news is an exaggerated, bastardized version of reality. And they were basically trying to pit the students against the rest of the country. And Joe Paterno had been like a legend there. And at that point, he was like old and senile. And they kind of used him as a scapegoat. And so that's what the student populace felt. But the media just turned it all around and twisted it and turned everyone against each other just so they can get some clicks. It was pretty disgusting. So that stuff still happens today,
Yeah. So there you go. So Ben says, I do agree, media does exaggerate things. No, and they flat out lie. And again, like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's a terrible tragedy what's happening down there. But my point is that you look at the Western media, they're trying to tell us there's one single reason for this. Send us your money with your carbon taxes. That's what they're telling us. That's the narrative here. And that's the problem I have, right? It's like disasters suck and it's terrible and people are dead down there. And like, what'd they say? Hundreds of millions of animals have died. That's absurd. Like nearly 500 million animals are saying. That's a tragedy by like, I can't even fathom a number that big, right? That's huge. The tragedy is gross. It's gigantic. But
yeah,
for them to try and boil it down to some political narrative on the West it gets my goat. That's all. That's what I mean. So please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the other thing. Okay. Let's see. Sherry said, just like this war, we'll go nowhere. Sorry, go ahead.
You have a goat?
Yeah, I got a couple. You want a picture?
Oh, man, I love goats, man.
If you want a picture of my goat, go to troubledminds.org. Join the Discord on the top right if you want to be on the show. I'll tell you about my goat. You can give us a call, 702-957-1037. Just kidding, I don't have goats. But there you go. Phone number's there. What do you guys think? So I've gone on some rants here, some tangents, talking about some fires, talking about some carbon taxes, some global warming, some climate change, some this, some of that. We've got some other stuff. We got some sea level rise we can talk about. We can continue that. But if you guys are most important, so if you have anything you want to say, we're here standing by for you. So if you want to interrupt this show and tell me something that we missed, that's what we're here for. That's why we do it live. That's why we include you, and we want to know. We really want to know because it's not again two dudes. We can't know it all. We're trying to parse the propaganda and figure things out just like you are. But if you have a take that we need to hear, call us. 702-957-1037. That's a Las Vegas area code in the United States of America. And if you don't like long distance, you can join the Discord. Troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link on the top right. get in here. You just join the caller queue, and we'll bring you on the show, and you can join the show with Ash and Mike, and tell us what you think about this global warming bit, about how it was global cooling in the 70s, and it was global warming in the 90s, and now they can't figure it out, so they call it climate change. It's again, right? Yeah. Luke says, instead of climate change, why not discuss climate control? I think that's what aliens would do, right? So think about this: an actual advanced civilization, they wouldn't be talking about this at all, would they? They just turn the thermostat on, the global thermostat. They just knock it down a notch, wouldn't they? Right? Am I right, Ash? Is that what they do on Mars? It gets a little cold, they just kick it up a degree with a global thermostat.
We have pretty advanced technology. We just, throw a little space juju on it, and that's it. It's all taken care of.
All handled, right? Everybody's nice and comfortable on a planetary basis. So my point is that extraterrestrials and advanced technology would have, of course, some sort of climate control on grand scales, and it wouldn't be confined to a house, right, or a building. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we're there. I'm saying that there's other things to talk about. Maybe we should be looking at those things.
Yeah, there's a few things that I don't think we're going to get to tonight, but it's honorable mentions. The poles are shifting, so the magnetic poles are moving faster and faster every year, and that weakens areas of the planet because it's basically like the hull moves, right? We're in the ozone layer, and it also weakens our magnetic field, so it would get more exposure from the sun. That's the theory, and so. Yeah, we don't exactly know what's going to happen with pole shifting, but it could be devastating or it could be minor. And it kind of aligns with, um, the whole abduction thing and the warning about stuff and saying and in prophecies and all this kind of things going on, right? So, there are a lot of things that could be causing all these changes happening now. And so, what are some other possibilities? Are you going to talk about those, Mike, or should we just kind of plug them in right now, real quick?
Do you
have any
the thingamajiggers, the sea level rise?
or causes, potential other causes of climate change, and so there's like basically like solar cycles, right? Solar cycles. The sun has a solar maximum, solar minimum, and then there are flares that can happen. So that could literally have just happened to Australia, and it could have gotten hit. Um, the pole shifting could be affecting the climate. What else? There's all these different cycles the planet has, where the planet is in the solar system, where we're moving through the universe. There's so many other dimensions of data that need to be taken into consideration of what's doing what. Um, and people are just hyper focused on the CO2 emissions, and then they just blame that because that's the convenient one of the moneymaker, right? The money shot. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention all those other things, and there's a lot of scientific data and evidence for those things, and you can literally look through the if you drill into the ice and you look through the cores or whatever, you can see those cycles. They're pretty consistent of different things, um, and judging by looking at that data previously, we are reaching a warming period, and then a cooling period follows. And it don't matter what we do, we're kind of screwed. Then it's going to be cold and it's going to be hot, and that's inevitable according to these cycles. So, in fact, we probably do need some to modify the climate some way to save ourselves, because Earth's going to kill us anyway. And like I mentioned before, those 16 extinction level events, shit happens. So, um, these are all possibilities and all need to be taken into consideration, but no one's talking about that. They just want to talk about the CO2 emissions, and that's all they want to talk about. And
How dare
it's a
you!
shame because these kind of things that happen and these tragedies are terrible, and we need to be smart and do what needed to do and look at the evidence, not just get emotional. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and again, like It is. It's a complex system. The world is a complex system. And the solar flares are true. They did set fires back in the 1800s, the Carrington event, if you remember that. There are these things that happen, and we can't quantify these things. We've got the Parker Solar Probe. I was going to look into some of that data. We'll do that at a future point. It's just not enough time. But it ends up that just like Ash was saying, we can't have simple answers to complex systems, and that seems to be what we want to do politically. And unfortunately, we're stuck in the middle here. A couple things here. So Ben says I missed his comment a ways up. He said 2 Muslims get arrested for starting a fire, and suddenly it's ISIS. I didn't realize that. But again, like I said, propaganda watch, right? Like how much of this is propaganda? Is kind of what I'm saying here. So there we go. What else? Lots of good chat here. Appreciate you guys. Again, if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Got a few minutes left for you. So if you want to continue here and talk about this stuff, what did we miss? What propaganda are we missing?
I see a lot of goat talk. I'm getting excited.
Everybody loves the goat. So I don't rant much, but when I rant, I tell you what, I go. I tell you, I go. Let's see. I played the Greta soundbite when you were talking there, Ash. Just FYI. Okay, so how dare you? But again, this is the point. There are no easy political answers to complex systems, and just like Ash was saying, things are very, very difficult to determine here. Go look up Vostok ice core samples, the Vostok Lake, and I believe that's Antarctica. This is where they get the CO2 emissions and measure temperatures and these things in the past. So everything's based on this data, right? But the data that they're telling you kind of doesn't seem to match. So anyway, there we go. Let's see. What's up? Addie says, Mike, you aren't slick. We heard that. How dare you? Yeah, I know. I snuck it in. Ash didn't hear it because he can't hear it. because I've set it up so he can't hear it when I slip in some dirty comments. Okay, so there we go. Eddie says the kangaroo jump in the fire. I think they were jumping out of the fire, and unfortunately, most of them didn't make it. Okay, but let's see. Todd wants to know how many Bigfoots have been burned up, and that's a hell of a question. That's a shame, right? Maybe they burned up the biggest Bigfoot habitat in the world, for all I know. Again, not to make light of it, it's terrible. It's a tragedy down there, and that's not what I'm saying. Again, back to that. It's about the media spinning it and using it politically, using disasters politically. Just like Ash was saying, you can't let a disaster go by without trying to capitalize politically, and that's disgusting.
You gotta take advantage of that opportunity.
Yep, exactly. It's disgusting.
Make some money.
Disgusting. Exactly. Okay. So anyway, there we go. Not to make light of that, making fun of Russell Crowe down there because he's nowhere near that fire. We all know this.
Hey, they're having their stupid Emmys or whatever. They could have just fucking canceled it, and they could all went down and did a quick show down there of how they're helping, right? Instead of just virtue signaling. But then again, I could take a trip down to Earth and help too. So yeah, I can't be too hypocritical.
Yeah, exactly. Get on it, buddy. Help us save the world. But anyway, there we go. So we got some stuff about that. Let me talk about this real fast. Just real fast. We got so since again we're waiting for you guys to call 702-957-1037. Well, I can't say it. Slow down, Mike. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. You can go to troubleminds.org. That's the official website. Join the Discord, and if you don't want to be in the show, join the Discord anyway. And you can be privy to the conversation that goes on 24 hours a day. And, not constant, but there's good links being shared, good conversation being had. So if you're shy, don't want to be on the phone, don't want to be audio, it's also a chat program. So you can go in there and type and talk to people and share some ideas. And there we go. That's what it's all about. So at troubleminds.org, click the Discord link on the top right, and there it is. All right, so we're going to talk about this real quick. So I talked about the Vostok ice core samples. Look it up, VOSTOK. I didn't pull that data, but you may be surprised. You may be surprised about the CO2 levels and temperature and how things aren't always as they tell you. All right, so here we go. Let's look at this real quick. So this is reported by the Ministry of Truth, and I have some other sources here, so nobody freak out. But this is about sea level rise. Here we go. Sea level rise. Here we go. So this is reported by the Ministry of Truth. And notice, I've said this before. So since at least the start of the 20th century, the average global sea level rise has been rising. It says between 1900 and 2016, the sea level rose by 16 to 21 centimeters. Notice how big the difference is: 16 to 21 centimeters. We don't know exactly, but if you look at this, basically the change of sea level rise has been 3 millimeters per year pretty much as long as we can measure it, right? Period. So just FYI, go ahead and look into this stuff, right? And see how they say, oh, well, we don't measure it by that. We measure it in different ways. We got buoys in the middle of the ocean, and we don't know a lot about how that really works. But this is what I'm saying, right? Like these are complex systems, and we're trying to boil it down to very simple things politically, and that's not what it's all about. So there we go. So I did link that if you guys want to check it out. But here's another one. Here's some other stuff, right, where they talk about these things, and they say, hey, this is not necessarily the case. We don't know. We don't really know. All right. So this is reported by NASA, nasa.gov. And they say the same thing. Satellite data, 1993 to present, 3.3 millimeters per year. Right. Then they say the ground data, which is from the coastal tide gauge records. Look at these graphs. Look at these graphs. Right there. They're left to right, raising pretty much like you would expect. Slight warming maybe coming out of an ice age, right? This is what I'm saying. These differences are so minuscule, and just like Ash said, there's so many things that we kind of don't take into account, like solar flares, and there's no way we can take all of the complex variables, feed them into a computer, and give us the answer. That's the point. I got a few more. I'm going to throw a few more links in here. Special report on sea level rise. Here we go. So this is reported by. Go ahead.
A lot of those graphs are like they'll take a small sample set, and if you zoom out, it's like a tiny blip up on the radar, right? So if you, I know the one presentation that was prepared for the UN, it was clearly cherry picked out at a specific point to make it look like it was low, and it's been growing over the past like 40 years. But if you zoom out, it was just like a slight tick up in the grand scheme of things, right? So it's tough. It's like we don't really know, and things are changing. But is it a long-term thing? Is it us? It's how could they be drawing that conclusion so quickly already? So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and geoengineering the whole bit. And remember, this is what I'm saying, guys. Please remember, I'm not telling you what I'm saying is the truth here. I'm saying that it's more complicated than what they tell us. And so I'm saying, please, wear the tinfoil hat all the time and don't believe what the hell they tell you. It's so easy to just take the narrative, tuck it in your back pocket, and think you got the world figured out, right? It's not the case. It's never the case. It'll never be the case. That's all I'm saying. So these things I'm saying, they're from different sources. They're from opposing sources of the mainstream. Okay, that's all. So again, I'm not a climate scientist myself. All right, at any of these things. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I say it all the time. Ash and I, just two dickheads on the internet with a microphone. That's it. That's it. We don't really know anything more than you, but this is the point. Let's go to this. JudithCurry.com. All right, climate, etc. She's got a blog here. She's looking into this stuff. Did her own actual independent review of sea level rise. Let's read some of this. Conclusions. Here are my conclusions. Mean global sea level has risen at a slow creep for more than 150 years since 1900. Global mean sea level has risen about 7 to 8 inches. The implications of the highest values of projected sea level rise under future climate change scenarios are profound, with far-reaching socioeconomic and environmental implications. However, these projections are regarded as deeply uncertain, and the highest of these projections strain credulity. The IPCC and other assessment reports are framed around providing support for the hypothesis of human-caused climate change. As a result, the natural processes of climate variability have been relatively neglected in these assessments. Isn't that what I've been saying? Arguments have been presented here supporting the important and even dominant role that natural processes play in global and regional sea level variations and change. That's what I'm saying. There's more here. There's more. This goes on. It's an entire independent study of this person going through all the data and coming up with this. Well, there we go. Is there sea level rise? No, a magnitude of 3 millimeters per year, like I was saying. Again, like lots of good data points. I linked it. Very, very long, very, very in-depth. People that take this very seriously, and they want to be honest about it. So there are sources, okay? I did link one. Here's another one. Real Climate Science. We talked about this guy a little bit earlier. He's on Twitter, this freaking guy. This guy's on Twitter, right? And they censor his tweets. Like, you can't see what an image he puts up without actually, what's the guy's name there, Ash? I linked it to you earlier in Discord. His name is, there we go. Okay, his name is, what is his name? His name is Tony something or other. Anyway, it's right here. RealClimateScience.com, check it out. he actually he gets his tweets get censored. They don't let this be shown. But here we go. Here's an article from the Guardian. Right. This goes back to, what is the date on this? I got this right here. Here we go. Let's go here. So okay, the Guardian. Greenland ice sheet faces tipping point in 10 years. Guess when this was? Let's see. This is reported. Yeah, that's right. 10 years ago. That's right, 10 years ago. Let me get the date here. There's a date on here somewhere. Here, I'm going to link it. You guys can check it out. See, I'm not lying to you. But they've been saying this for a long time, is kind of my point. They've been saying it for 20 years, 30 years, 10 years. We only have this many months. We only have this many years. Here we go. So scientists warn that temperature rises between 2 Celsius and 7 Celsius would cause ice to melt, resulting in 23 feet rise in sea level. Okay, and right here. The Guardian, 10 years ago. So 2020, this would be this year. This is 2010. So the fallout would be felt thousands of miles away from the Arctic, unleashing a global sea level rise of 23 feet. Alley warned low-lying cities such as New Orleans would vanish. That was 10 years ago. By 2020, they claim in this article. All right? Now, this is what I'm saying. New Orleans would vanish. Vanish. Yeah. Alarmism. Climate alarmism. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help the situation. It doesn't help carbon taxes. It doesn't help. Anyway, whatever. You get the point. So again, I'm not telling you I know everything. I'm telling you, be extra wary. Wear the tinfoil hat. Triple check your sources. Make sure that you're not buying the mainstream BS. World War III tonight, right? Remember when we started, just before this show started, we had World War III on deck. Watch what happens tomorrow morning. Right. Watch how the propagandists spin this when there's no World War III tomorrow morning. Right? You tell me. Yeah, Todd says on Twitter, got to be true. That's not my point. My point is they're censoring him because they don't want the information to get out. His tweets are automatically censored. You have to click, parental whatever. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Larry says, got a inconvenient truth here. Not happening. And yeah, the real inconvenient truth, right? You back, Ash?
I'm here.
Okay. You said you stepped away for a sec. I saw the Discord message. All right.
That was before. No. I mean, those are all good points.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead
data.
and rant. Tell some dick and fart jokes. I'll be right back. I'll be like 90 seconds. I got to do what you do.
Okay. So
Go.
I'm going to bring out the big climate change conspiracy caboodle. So I don't know if you guys know about the climate change scandal with. So unfortunately, I can't post it up, but I'll read it to you. Oh, what? Oh, they censored it. What? Hold on, I gotta look for it. So anyway, it was called Climate Gate, and apparently WikiLeaks got their hands on a bunch of top climate scientists' emails, and they caught them kind of with their pants down, passing information back and forth. And so they caught them suppressing their data. So they basically were talking about excuses of ways they could hide their data and keep it from the public. So if your data is legit, why would you need to hide that? And this was a huge scandal. And I know there's different interpretations of one side or another. So I'm just going with the conspiracy theory angle. But yeah, so the first thing was, they were hiding their data and they were finding out ways of not admitting about this data. So they would say, oh, it's lost, or it got corrupted, or this and that. The second thing they were doing was they got caught changing their models. So they basically were quoted saying stuff like, oh yeah, just modify it to get the results. So they kind of had an agenda that they wanted to produce. And they changed the model or the data to kind of fit that. So they got caught doing that. And then the third thing was they're very aggressive against other scientists who challenge the narrative. So they'll ostracize them. They'll basically target the anyone who publicizes that information and try and basically pull their funding and ruin their name. So in science, a lot of scientists are scared of certain topics because once your kind of name gets struck through the mud, that's it. You can't really pay the bills, right? And so I forget this
I'm here,
article
by
I
the way.
looked up. Oh, hello. So this article I pulled up is gone now. The link is dead. It's weird. Um, but basically, these scientists are like the biggest names in climate change, and they're the ones who've been kind of pushing policy about this stuff with the UN. And when people quote stuff, they're quoting these guys, and they were caught manipulating things and lying and changing stuff. So in WikiLeaks, a lot of people are trying to say WikiLeaks is not a good source. They've never been wrong. So WikiLeaks exposes all kinds of stuff, both sides of the fence, all over the place. So this was a huge scandal, and I think a lot of people don't know about it. So it's called Climate Gate. When I was trying to do research on it, it was uh, a lot of companies have kind of like suppressed it. So they basically give their own interpretation of what happened and kind of like say it's gloss it over like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. And I believe the emails are available. You can kind of look them over yourself. So maybe you'll look them over and prove us wrong. And we're always open to what you guys have to say. But yeah, check it out. Climate Gate. That was a pretty big scandal.
Yeah, and again, just like cooking the books and anything, right? Oh, you don't say like the government, the academia, major corporations are cooking the books. Oh no, right? They're spinning the propaganda. Oh no, we don't believe that. Of course we believe that, but again, to what degree? Again, you tinfoil hat. Strap that thing on tight. Take it with you wherever you go. I would recommend tinfoil in your shoes just in case. We got 5G on the way.
I got a tinfoil helmet, bro.
There you go. Upgrade. like plus one video game upgrade to your tinfoil helmet. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like this is the thing. Again, one more time. Please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying we shouldn't do conservation efforts on the earth. Like it's not the point. The point is that the propaganda they're feeding us is not the way. That's what I'm saying. And if you don't believe that, go to the Yellow Vest in France, and somebody in Australia said that they're going to have to start riding their bike because the gas prices are so high. Go to that and see what the hell's happening here. Let's see. John says that every time I hear WikiLeaks, I hear Lemmy Winks in the back of my head. I don't know what a Lemmy Wink is, but it sounds delicious. It sounds delicious. What's a Lemmy Wink? You know what that is, Ash?
It's a butt gerbil.
Yeah. What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from South Park.
Okay. There you go. I'm glad they have South Park on Mars.
Of course.
Of course. It's broadcast universe wide. Of course, it's
24/7.
Because the best show on TV. Okay, so Todd says
so far.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The only reason we haven't blown up your planet so far.
Okay, that's fair enough. Trey Parker, Matt Stone, saving the world. There you go. Todd on chat says, my ex cooked the books on me. Yeah, right. See, it doesn't have to be a conspiracy. It could be just your wife cooking the books on you. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah, South Park says John. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay, so we're at the end of this. This is about time we wind it down. So we got a couple minutes for you, but we're done. This is it, right? So which level of propaganda do you believe? Which levels should we believe? And should we continue talking about this? Or should we just end the show tonight? Should we say this is the last one? What do you think? Maybe we should do the last one.
Yeah, last show forever.
Last show forever?
End it.
We just end it. I mean, propaganda is propaganda. It's never going to stop. It's tiring, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just kidding. Anyway, so if you want to be on the show, 702-957-1037. I can't say it. See, I can't say that. Can't say the last 7 tonight. 702-957-1037. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about this. Feedback on the show. If you want to say hi, if you want to suggest a topic for the next show, if you want to correct something that we said, if you want to maybe delve into something else, we're here for you. Again, you can go join Discord, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link on the top right, and there you go. Easy as that. Easy peasy, right? So there's the Michael Strange belligerent tonight, kind of shouting at the microphone, screaming about global warming and climate change. But again, like I said,
boomer.
Yeah, okay, exactly, boomer. Yeah, hey, boomer, boomer. Right, whatever. Whatever. Like, okay, whippersnapper. Let's see what you got. It's fine. Like, these are the things that are fine, right? Like, these are part of the conversation, I think, and these are the criticisms we should be able to take. So if you have those for us too, we're willing to take those. We've had people call up, and matter of fact, we had somebody call a while ago, and no, I'm not going to say it because it was just it was too clever by far, and I don't want to encourage you guys, but but we've had some haters, and it's fine, right? It's fine. Like if you're doing anything, and a wise man once said to me, if you're doing anything at all, you got haters. If you're not, you don't. So it's okay. We can have haters.
Wasn't
right?
that Bill Cosby?
I think it was Bill Cosby, probably. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Probably not
right.
the best advice.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. What's up, Little C Living? Ask climate change people about the medieval warming period. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we're very cherry pick about where we say this or that, right? And they think we're stupid. This is the thing, right? If you're not an academic, you're stupid. You can't sit at the table. You can't look at charts of weather and these different things. And the data's out there, guys. You can find it. Thank you, Little C Living, for pointing that out. This is exactly the point. There's these things that have happened that are mostly inexplicable, and we still think that we know everything about everything scientifically, and of course the major corporations, the government, and all the BS. The BS that they try and feed us. Anyway, we're done. Anything to wind this out there, Ash, about any of this stuff? I mean, we promised to do this show for a long time because we've hinted at climate change being a farce and some of these other things. But again, remember, conservationism of this planet is important. Okay, plant the trees, pick up your garbage, reduce your landfill waste. These types of things are all important, right? But CO2 emissions, I'm not so sure. That's the cat's meow at this point. I'm not so sure.
Hey,
what do you think, Ash?
Release the technology. Release the technology. Remember that one general internet everywhere? You can be anywhere in 20 minutes. Well, what else can that technology do, right? We're still driving the same cars. We're still doing the same stuff we've done for the last 100 years. And you humans need to step it up. You need to start catching up. And, I've got all kinds of crazy technology up here. And if humans had that, I'm thinking we can prevent a lot of stuff, right? And kind of move forward. And so that's like the conspiracy theory angle on this stuff. It's like, if you release the energy technologies, it kind of solves all the problems, right? It helps with a lot of things. So, it's not fair to kind of tax the people and take it out on them when it's the government that's like suppressing this stuff. So, but it's important for us to all personally take responsibility. There's stories of like people planting like thousands of trees in other countries and contribute as a society and do what we can. And just shipping your money away, it never works. The sociopaths just get it and then just they buy a plane with it and whatever. So we have to take personal responsibility and help where we can, fit as many koalas as we can in our car, and do what we can. And that's kind of it. But we have to remain vigilant and see what's the truth and what isn't. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to have those conversations, and not get butthurt one way or another, right? So, that's everywhere else. Everywhere else in social media, that's what's happening. Here, let's try and get to the bottom of it. Let's keep our minds open and figure stuff out.
How dare you?
And of course, the end of the conversation is that the conversation doesn't end. Like I think if you had a conversation with Aristotle or Plato or some of the great thinkers of humankind, I don't think the conversation for them ended because their body gave up on them, because we die, because entropy, because these things happen, right? But I don't think the questions they ask don't have room in discourse now. I think the conversation continues forever. And whether we're here to have it, hopefully we pass it on to the next person who passes it on to the next person. And that's the way of things. So this conversation does not end. It'll end tonight for just a minute, but we'll be back on Friday night, and we'll do more. We'll do different stuff because we like to talk about different stuff. We did Space Force last time. We did global climate change and other stuff tonight. We'll have more on Friday. Different things. But again, so if you want to suggest what we should do in the future, join the Discord, troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link, get in there, and let us know. Let us know what we're missing, because I guarantee you there's stuff out there we're missing. So, FYI, there we go. We're at the end. I'm going to cue the outro music. You can you go ahead and outro. You there? Ash? And
I'm here. Yeah. Thanks guys for tuning in. Like Mike said, there's so many things to talk about, mostly aliens, because I think everyone wants to talk about aliens all the time. But just let us know what you guys are interested in, what you want to talk about. We're not like everyone else. We're not gonna shoehorn it, and we're pretty open-minded here, so we're gonna talk about everything. And we're gonna have a good time and keep growing as a community and learn. So that's it for me. I'm gonna head back to my old reptilian cave here and eat my dinner. I got a good old cow going, still alive, nice and fresh. Abducted it last week.
Have a bite for me. Have a bite for all of us. All right, there it is. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. This conversation continues. We'll be back on Friday night. This is Troubled Minds Radio. I'm here with Ash the Reptilian. I'm Michael Strange, and we are just looking for things to talk about. And this conversation continues. So we'll be back again Friday, 9 p.m. Pacific, and fashionably late because it's what we do, 5 minutes or so. But there we go. If you guys have takes on this, the climate stuff, or you think we're way off or whatever, we're open to criticism. You can email at troublemindsradio@gmail.com. Join the Discord, share some links, share some knowledge, do all the things. But most important, all of this is nothing if you don't listen, if you don't share, if you don't think for yourself. This is all about thinking for yourself. And hopefully the conversation spurs some things that maybe you hadn't considered. And that's what it's all about. That's why we do this. And again, can't thank you enough for listening, for hanging around. We know it's a long show, all that, etc., so on. You guys are all the best. Yeah, and we'll be back. As for now, you're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Thank you for listening. And from our Troubled Minds to yours, go ahead, Ash. Have a great night. Anything to say?
No, that's it. Goodbye, Earthlings.
Adios. Catch you guys Friday.